Playing the intro now. We're live.
Legion of Creators.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Hi guys, welcome. Welcome to Legion of Creators, episode 38.
38.
We got
And it's...
I hit the wrong thing. Get out of here. Sorry, but Kenneth's here now too. Alright, perfect. Welcome, Kenneth. Yeah, welcome to episode 38, guys. We just played the intro, Kenneth.
That's good.
Okay, so let's go pull up my thing here. Luke 1. Alright, so since Kenneth's here, do we want to revert to our original plan?
Sounds good.
Con first? Okay. Oh, Ken, I should let you know, since we're talking about this as we're getting ready for the show, we're going to skip Frankenstein for this time because Luke says he's going to find a way to get Netflix. So I think we're going to wait till next week to talk about Frankenstein.
Yeah, next week's going to be a big Predator episode. Like
and Ken, do your Predator stuff because you and I are going to go see Predator either this weekend or next. Yeah, probably this weekend because we got to get. Because I'm gonna get through all the Predator movies, and then we'll I'll watch one a night or something, and then we'll go this. You can watch your YouTube Explained series, whatever.
Yeah, we could do watch parties on the Predator movies.
I'm open to doing Predator watch parties.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They're good, entertaining movies. So, do you want to start? Should we start tomorrow?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, we'll start Predator 1 tomorrow then. Okay.
Yeah, I thought kind of you had brought up the animated project or whatever. Like I thought it was a show, but it's just a movie with like 3 stories in it.
Oh, I thought it was a show too.
Yeah, and sorry.
You said where's it in the timeline? Is that before the first movie or is that after?
So I'm not actually.
Or it goes to different time periods of Predator, and then the last part is where it's after Prey. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. He was telling me something, so I really don't know enough about Predator, but next week that's all gonna change. So like right now he told me, my buddy, because I had put the movie on and he was like, dude, you're not even like gonna really get this without Prey. Like you kind of have to almost see Prey for this to make sense. You know what I mean? Like the ending of it specifically.
Yeah, I heard that you had to watch Prey first and then you watch the animated project, but I'm assuming it's Predator, then you get to Prey and all that other stuff.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean? But it's almost like it seems to be the reboot point of the Predator series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Predator and Prey and like this animated thing, you know, because people didn't like Predators. And was that the last one before Prey?
I think so.
Yeah, because I remember people weren't crazy about that, but I'm pretty sure Adrian Brody is in that movie, and I thought, like, I haven't seen it all, but it looked like it was kind of cool. But I've heard a lot of bad criticism on it, so I don't want to speak too soon on that one.
We can go see Badlands very soon. And now our first topic today, guys, is me and Kenna went to, or correct, Kenna and I went to go see. Not went to go see, sorry. We went to Minnesota, or Twin Cities, Minnesota, con, which is not necessarily a Comic-Con, but it's like an entertainment fandom con, I guess we'll call it. And Kenna and I had a better time than I did, but I still had a good time. So
I definitely got more stuff.
Did you want to start your segment, Kenna?
Sure. I'll show what I got. So my biggest thing that I got was a print of a piece of artwork from Batman Beyond signed by one of the artists, Gibson. And so I'm trying to see.
Throw her up on the big screen, Joe.
Oh, you want it up on the big screen? I can fix that. 1 second.
It's just a scene of Terry fighting the Didi twins. You know,
cool.
Harley Quinn's granddaughters. I thought it was cool. He also had really other nice artwork. He had a drawing of Rogue, Superman. He had this really nice painting of Kevin Conroy in the Batman suit. And then he had he had another Batman Beyond poster, but it was really nice talking to him. I got to talk to him a bit, and he was explaining just like how Batman Beyond is probably going to make a big comeback soon, probably in DC, if they put their focus on it, because it's other
would
people
love that.
craving it.
We'd love to see some more Terry McGinnis. Let's go.
Yeah, and we talked about the not necessarily a canceled movie, but the shut down pitch of the Spider-Verse animated movie of Batman Beyond before they made the Spider-Verse movies. And he said it would be cool to see that, but it also but that animation style, but also I thought it would be even better if they kept the TV show style, but obviously higher budgeted, so it's smoother and flows better.
Yeah.
And then the other things I got were just like small little trinkets, nothing too crazy. I got keychains and these little these little baby, like they're called Sunny Angels, and they're just like little mini figurines. And I get those a lot because they're blind boxes, and they all
But this is the first con that you really got to have a real experience for, because a lot of the other times we went to a con, when I went to San Diego Comic-Con in 2017, Kenna didn't go with me, and Kenna was super into this show on Netflix called Voltron.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited in line for, what was it, like 5 hours to get to watch the panel to get all the information for Kenna, and got her a poster and stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember that was 2017. And then I've been to Chicago for Star Wars Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've done Heroes and Villains, which was in San Jose. And that's where I met Stephen Amell for the first time. At Chicago, I met Ray Park and Sam Witwer. So the Mall twins, we'll call them, for Mall. What's up, Jake, Mr. Dr. Strangerverse?
Dr. Strangerverse.
Yeah. So I think my disappointment with this con was it was fun seeing the cosplay. I think there was some great cosplay me and Kenna both saw. K-pop Demon Hunters was a big focus. Harley Quinn was a big focus. A lot of Spider-Man. Some unique Spider-Man too. Like we saw purple Spider-Man representing like the Vikings and stuff, which was kind of cool. So that was kind of cool. It was like a Spider-Punk, but like purple. And then there was some different stuff. Good food at the con, definitely good variety. And then there's some cool merchant shops, but everything at this con is very overpriced, and some of the this part of the reason I didn't buy anything is nothing was like, oh, nothing's worth $100 or like $40, whatever to me. Like, and what's kind of sad is like we live in a world where like we get so much access to digital like media in terms of like reading comics on like our laptops or iPads, whatever. So, like when you see the actual comics and you see good comics, there was nothing that I needed for my comic book collection that I hadn't read or needed interest in, because everything I saw was like, I've read that, or I can read that on my laptop, or I can read that on my iPad, and just, I don't know, it just kind of dawned on me, like, it just didn't, like, it soured my experience. I think the number one thing that soured my experience the most, and I'm curious to see what Ken will have to say on this, was we got so busy walking through the labyrinth, we didn't get to do any meet and greet with any celebrities.
Yeah, my thing is that we were on the last day of the con, so besides like Brendan Fraser, the other people that we really wanted to see just weren't there anymore. And I know
there was still some people. I saw a list of
right, there were still cool people, right? But for me personally, as like what I like to do when I go to cons, I've been like, this is my second convention. I went to the Star Wars Celebration. I'm definitely more interested in the things that you can see, the artwork and merchandise. And I think it's cool to meet people for sure. Like I met Ahsoka's voice actress at Star Wars Celebration, but unless it's like someone that I like need to get a picture of, like one of my personal favorite celebrities or whatnot, I am just not that kind of convention goer when it comes to the meet and greets, really.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I think of it, as much as I think I'm sad that I didn't meet anybody, there was nobody there that I was like, "Oh, I have to meet this person." Unfortunately, which was sad. Like, there's people I wanted to meet, but it's like the days us going on Sunday just kind of killed that vibe. Unfortunately, which was too bad. I would have liked to meet Brendan Fraser.
No, it's,
Talk to him about the Mummy 4.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that would have been cool. But hey, I mean, you still had a good time. You still got to see everything.
Yeah.
You still got to walk by all the
I didn't
celebrity
get to buy
poofs.
anything on like Kenna, but other than that, I had a good time.
Yeah. Oh, what I also loved is that the Star Wars stuff. There was a BB-8 and what's the other not BB-8. Well, there was a BB-8 statue, but it didn't move. But there was a RTD2, and what's the droid from Rebels? I forgot his name.
Chopper.
They moved around through the con, and there was like some.
It was funny because there was a Hera cosplayer,
Yeah.
and if you've seen Rebels, she literally was interacting with the droid like it was a real person.
Mhm.
So like she would be talking to fans or other people in the con, and she would be like, "Chopper, you can't say that. You're
That's
stop
what I
being an asshole, Chopper."
Conventions with cosplays, especially like things like that. It was like, oh, this
Yeah,
is like
people went all out.
it's like a better version of like the Disney parks, where like the
Right.
character.
I just wish we would have had more time to put together good costumes. I have costumes that I could have wore. It just like the Sunday thing just came so late because I had previously had plans to go with my girlfriend, and then that changed, and then it just kind of fell apart.
It's all good though.
It worked out.
I didn't really take a lot of pictures, but the only things that I took a picture of Star Wars related is that I'm really into the Jedi games, obviously, and there was a little statue of BD1, and well, not little, it was big, but and then there was the Jedi holocron, and I really liked that. I was like, oh my god, it's BD1. I saw that there was a stand where like they had like lightsabers and they had Cal lightsabers and all the other Jedi. But cool. I was really hoping to get some cool Star Wars merch. I think that's what I was really going for when I was shopping, but there was nothing that was really catching my eye. But
well, we think about this, Kenna, and this is just another related note to this. Since they skipped this year for Celebration, maybe if we go to Celebration in 2020, I think was it this year they skipped, or was it? No, I think they had one this year. I think it was. Did they skip this year, or they're skipping next year? One of the years I know they're skipping, and then I think 2027 they'll be back. If they're back 2027 and we go 2027, maybe just like I had the privilege of being there for Survivor stuff and for Fallen Order, maybe we get news for Jedi 3 and they give us free merch. We go out for Jedi 3.
Maybe. I don't know. It would just be exciting to go in general.
Yeah, I'd like to go. I want to see Star Wars get peak again before we go, though. We got to see some really good projects.
In the new Star Wars game, The Eclipse.
You know how much cons probably were popping off the year that Force Awakens was coming out?
Oh,
before it came out.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And like BB-8s and like everything. Like people didn't know if it was actually going to be good yet. The hype was there, though. Like people were excited for that movie. And I think it paid off, even if plenty of people are like, "Hey, it's just a thing of Episode 4 again." I like at least it was good. Look at what 8 and 9.
That hype was unreal. Like it was like there will never be hype on that level for anything again. Like we don't
trust anything anymore. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
like we got this like Star Wars comeback, and we got Marvel and the MCU. Like people are weary towards all this like universe stuff. I think at this point
now it's weary now because the fact that we can't trust anything that they make because of the whole stuff that they've pulled. So that makes it kind of difficult, unfortunately.
And it's such a shame that the latest Star Wars movie that's actually going to be in theaters is going to be essentially just season 4 of Mando, and like I feel like if Mando and Grogu don't do well, it's gonna affect how the new Starfighter movie will perform. I feel like because if this doesn't do good, then that Star Wars movie is gonna be on the rocks a bit, which is a shame because even if the Starfighter movie turns out bad, what I do like about it so far right now is that it does seem to be something completely new within the Star Wars universe. I think that's what it's got going for. So it's a shame that it's gonna be after Mando and Grogu. So
Yeah, but the sad thing is, unfortunately, no matter what year that Starfighter movie is, I've heard from several new reports that this movie is immediately, well, it's after a lot of the things you're seeing. Oh, we got another. Oh, Jake said something. Yeah. I'll read that in a minute. But unfortunately, the other thing is, this is, even though it's after, it's still sequel territory, kind of. It's still confirmed to have Rey in it. It's still confirmed for Rey to have a focus.
I don't care anymore because I know
New
that
direction.
yeah, it's
New direction.
Even
Maybe.
though Rey is gonna be in it, she's not gonna be the main focus because it's gonna be Ryan Gosling's character, whoever that will be. I think.
Don't give them power. They could be listening. Don't give them ideas.
I don't know. It's just as much as I know, nobody likes how Rey ended in the last sequel trilogy movie. It's not a Captain Carter situation where I'll just die if I see her on my TV screen again. I'm perfectly content with Rey as a whole because I feel bad for her because I feel like she had a lot of potential to be a really good character, and they just messed her up in the last film. So I just have a little bit of grace for her.
I think they messed her up because they didn't do the thing they should have done with her from the beginning of the trilogy. I still think that the move was that you sell your story, especially because we've talked about this all the time. After Ventress, there are no good female Star Wars villains. So they should have she didn't have to be tied to Palpatine, but you should have just pivoted into her being a villain. That should have been the move.
Which would have been cool. And then what, then Kylo Ren becomes the good guy, essentially, right? That would have been kind of cool, actually.
Because then you would have got Ben Solo. Instead of this whiny crybaby Vader wannabe pretender, Ben Solo would have been like Han Solo with a lightsaber, but in the best way.
That would have been actually really cool because it would have been he is this whiny little brat, you know what I mean? And then when someone actually becomes evil, he actually shows his true self because he's been running away from it this whole time. That would have been cool.
I love both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver, but to be fair, as much as I think Adam Driver's an incredibly talented actor, I think it would do mountains for Daisy Ridley's career to see her really touch into that evil side. To see her really go all out and become... Because we wouldn't have a villain
Instead, they're making out.
Yeah. Pretty much. They're making we wouldn't have had to have a villain that had to hide behind a mask following the Revan and Vader trope the entire time. We could have had someone that was just evil. And it could have been great. If she served Snoke, there could have been some good stuff. And I think that even though I hate Rise of Skywalker, one thing I'll give Rise of Skywalker is at least that Force vision gave us a taste of what it could have been like. And I think that that's cool that we got that at least.
Yeah. I remember rewatching 7 and 8 before 9 came out just because. And I remember there was a few scenes in 8 when rewatching it for the first time. I was like, some of these scenes actually aren't bad. The chase scenes specifically. And I can't even tell you the parts of the movie.
How about the Leia flying in space?
That's terrible. You know what I mean? That's terrible. But then I remember being the trailer for 9 was another kind of cool chase sequence with the Millennium Falcon, and I was like, maybe. I tried so hard to want to be excited for it, even though I think we all knew Episode 9 wasn't gonna be good,
Well, the sad thing is the year that I went to Star Wars Celebration was the year that Rise of Skywalker was getting hyped, because when we were at Celebration, we were the first people to find out, to hear the Palpatine laugh and know nothing about what was going on. We're like, oh, how are they going to do this? And we were fools. We were fools. We got excited. I'm like, oh man, Palpatine's coming back. I can't wait. This is going to be sick. And no, it was not. It was not.
I
It was not sick.
listen. I think okay. As much as it's a bad line, I think on paper, Palpatine coming back wouldn't be as bad. But again, the whole Rey is like his granddaughter. That's really just like I think, and also just the way. I think it would have been better if we actually had a proper setup to Palpatine returning because it seemed like they were setting up Snoke, and Snoke was going to be the new big bad, and obviously people were comparing him to Palpatine already, but that was bound to happen either way. But it's just a shame that it's like, oh, this mysterious Snoke guy, we don't know what his deal is, and then it's just like, oh, he was a clone of Palpatine, and he really didn't do much in the movies, and guess who's back? Palpatine. And Rey is related.
It was a theory people were saying too from like episode 7, but the way they just did it was like, all right, we have no other options, so yeah, that's the one. That's what happened. You guys said it.
Right.
You guys said it before. It's what happened.
I remember reading theories of like Snoke is like a clone of Palpatine.
Right.
And yeah, just the way that they execute it. I think that's the biggest problem with the sequel trilogies is that I think the ideas are there. Like there was good ideas and good concepts.
Bad executions.
But yeah, bad executions and like done
classic Disney.
Especially with like the Leia flying scene, like we always kind of knew that she had to be force sensitive, but they show it in that
such
way.
a bad way. And I shouldn't say classic Disney, I should say modern Disney.
Yeah.
Because classic Disney is amazing.
You mean in the same way that that in the same movie where they invented Force FaceTime? the
whole Rey and Kylo Ren talking with the
you didn't mind the FaceTime? Okay.
No, I think that made sense because if the Force is so
we
powerful,
had that awful scene with Kylo and not wearing a shirt.
Well, yeah, the shirtless scene was ridiculous because they had his pants pulled up all the way. So, like, what's the point of being shirtless if you're not really going to capitalize his sexiness, I guess, for the fangirls?
Yeah, it was weird.
But, like, the idea of the forced FaceTime is not bad, I don't think. It's just, yeah, that one moment was silly.
Yeah, the Leia flying was definitely silly.
Super Space Leia!
Super Space Leia. Yeah, I've seen memes with the John Williams Superman theme playing. I've seen so many bad things when it comes to that scene. It's bad. I mean, the throne room scene, if they didn't kill Snoke, the throne room scene was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good scene, I would say.
There are some... What'd you say, Luke?
You should check out like the choreography on that scene, actually, because it's quite
mediocre.
Quite questionable. Yeah. No, because I always thought it was a cool scene too, but then like I've seen other people break it down and be like, this scene makes no sense. You know, and it's like, does it really?
Well, that's my problem with Rey is that like in the movies, that was the scene to me that showed me all the mistakes that they were made with this potential character because they were letting her win battles doing stupid things that shouldn't even happen. And it's like, it just didn't make sense. Because that scene, there's multiple times where she should, even though she's the main character of the trilogy, there's scenes where she should die. And she doesn't, and they set those scenes up. And it's just kind of bad. Like, one of the ways she takes out the Praetorian Guards.
Get hurt in battle. Like, at least get some, like, roughened up a bit. Or some sort of
and that's the other thing. That never happened.
Right, okay.
I don't understand in the first movie how Kylo gets his scar from what happens to him, but we never see Kylo Ren slices up Rey multiple times, and Rey never gets a single, let alone a bruise, from a lightsaber on her arm, because Disney's obsessed with lightsabers being baseball bats, not swords. And it's ridiculous.
They stab every once in a while.
Jake said something that I want to elaborate on. The Force said, I thought that casino planet they visited in Last Jedi was pretty cool. I like that segment too, where it was Finn and Rose, and they were in the casino, and they were trying to. I can't remember exactly what happened, but they were like trying to find like it was like a Star Wars mafia bit. Some boss they're trying to uncover, and last scene of the kid, he's like, I think like some child worker, and he's like sweeping, and he has a ring on or something with the rebel symbol, and that's supposed to be like, oh, here's the new generation of resistance. But the problem is with the sequel trilogies, not only with the whole Palpatine stuff, but the First Order coming back also again as the main bad guys, when we don't even really understand why they came back in the first place or what their true goal was. It just felt like they were being evil for the sake of evil. Obviously, we know originally the First Order were, trying to take over the universe. And the sequel First Order says that they're doing that, but it doesn't really feel like it, because they just blow up random resistant planets, and then it just kind of never gets brought up again.
And I feel this is where Andor shines, personally.
Yeah, because it actually goes against the whole fighting the regime in that show way better.
And it explains even the Empire.
Yeah.
And people that work for the Empire and their motives and like why. It's just about they believe in order.
And
and it's like
Hux, right? You have him literally performing a very similar speech to another guy in real life, and then all of a sudden 2 movies later you have him say, oh, I'm the rebel spy. So he's the rebel, but he lets other planets, gets like 6 different planets exploded that were supposed.
And that twist was so bad. I can't believe they pulled that twist. It was so bad.
I honestly wish that, because here's the thing, Kylo Ren. What was interesting about Ben Solo is that he was taking on the Vader role, quote unquote, to be edgy, to be the sake of being different. He didn't really believe in the First Order. He just was there because it knew it would get him to the point he wanted to. So it would have been very interesting if we had Hux actually be the bad guy and like take Kylo Ren's spot in the leadership of the First Order, because again, based on Force Awakens, he seemed like he was actually into it and like actually seemed to be a part of the Empire and not Kylo Ren. So that would have been like a better, I guess, plot twist, like a usurper, or whatever he takes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They should have pushed Kylo's redemption much earlier in The Last Jedi. They make him seem like he's supreme leader, but they want to get us on that nostalgia on the Death Star wreckage to have that big lightsaber duel. So they forced us into getting his redemption. But by the time we get his redemption, he doesn't become Ben Solo until he goes and fights. Until he goes with Rey and fights Palpatine. And then we get those 5 minutes of him doing the cool scene, and then it's just.
And then let's make a third Death Star so it looks like Mickey Mouse when we put them all together. And like that's another thing too. The problem with the First Order coming back is like they're gonna do the same plan again that they already learned that didn't work the other 2 times. And it just defeats, like, that's what I really love about Rogue One is, like, you see them, getting the plans to destroy the Death Star. Like, I think it was just so good. And then it just ruins all that impact that the previous characters have done for them to be like, oh, we're back. Here's Palpatine. Here's third Death Star. Because obviously Star Wars is about, we're always going to have to fight against bigotry and fascism. But it becomes, and it's supposed to be a hopeful story of like, we're the good guys, we're the resistance, we'll always do what's right. But when you keep bringing back the same old characters or techniques of the previous bad guys, it kind of becomes less hopeful, and it becomes more like, well, what was the point of all the other previous sacrifices so many of these other characters have done that we've already seen? So it becomes less hopeful and not like Star Wars anymore. So like, we're the point of Star Wars.
I like
that's why I say Aliens better.
I like Underground's comment here. Leia was probably auditioning for Guardians of the Galaxy crew by leaping through space. Oh, that was funny. No, yeah, it's like I hear you loud and clear on that one. I think that's an issue. But
it would have been.
I love how we weren't even gonna talk about Star Wars.
It happened, yeah.
I think I mentioned. I just brought up my hope for like the trilogy, and then it just
I mean,
spiraled.
it comes up. I mean, I have this, so
Yeah.
it's gotta come up.
I will
Whenever.
say one last thing about Star Wars, and we can move on to the other topics. But I think what really irks me about, again, the First Order coming back as the bad guys in the sequel is that I think it would have been better, because this is kind of similar to what happens in real life, is that the First Order, they do regroup, but they go by a different name because they try to be, because real like fascist groups pretend to get a different name so they can be like, oh no, we're not like those other guys, we're completely different. So it would have been better, I don't know, I guess more his like accurately how war is like, because it's Star Wars. So I think that would have been better if they just came up with a new group name, and it could have been more interesting.
Well, I don't understand what they didn't do is lean into the idea, and I wondered if J.J. Abrams did the whole trilogy, if he would have leaned into this instead of what we got at the end of 9. But I really wish they should have just drove into the Knights of Ren being the thing.
Like, yeah, they should have had more focus on them too.
Oh yeah, they didn't take any time with that. They're just like, hey,
Captain Phasma. Where is she?
You mean Kenny of Star Wars?
That was terrible.
I thought she was so cool, Force Awakens, and they're like,
right.
They're like, she's gone. I'm like, what do you mean she's gone? We got like 5 minutes of her, and they're like, no, she's gone.
Apparently, Jake said Dr. Strangerverse said they confirmed season 2 earlier today for Aliens, so you're gonna get your wish of more Alien stuff.
Season 2.
Yeah, no, I saw. I put it up in the Discord too.
Yeah.
You should have made a video.
Because
you're the alien guy.
The alien guy, dude. Even though I'm Luke, it's like I feel like I know way more about Star Wars in all reality than I do about Alien.
You'll see Mark Hamill in real life one day at a con. He'll slap you. It's like, you're a disgrace to your name.
All right.
Can we get Mark Hamill in an Alien movie?
So, honestly, I would love to see that.
I'd be all about it.
I'd love to see him in an Alien movie. I just want to see Mark Hamill play more villains, man. After Joker, I want to see, before he dies, I'd love to see him play more villains.
I think he could have done Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I think he would have done great. I wanted him, when they were playing the Homecoming
Willem Dafoe is obviously kind of locked in on that, but like, you know, I think he would have done a good job as it.
Well, there was talks when they were planning the Homecoming trilogy that Mark Hamill wanted to be Doc Ock and of like the newer Spider-Man movies, and we never.
What if they get Mark Hamill to be the Joker?
That'd be cool. I mean, if they could pull that off.
The thing, though, Mark Hamill is like, I will never voice the Joker ever again.
Yeah, that's
he'll never play the Joker because of without Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy never did live action version.
But
he did once, very, very minimal in the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I get that, but the thing is that if you have him play live action Joker, he's doing the voice anyway, you know?
I think it's a shame not, like, here's the thing. DC has multiple Jokers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I just feel like it would be so amazing to have Mark Hamill in his voice.
I could see him playing his other character. I could see him playing the Trickster from the original Flash. Like,
no, he's another character even in or maybe that's somebody else I'm thinking of. In the Batman animated series, there's a random villain.
I think he only voiced Joker in the animated
series. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But
he could do other stuff. If it's about being other people other than Joker, I mean, there's lots of things Hamill could do that would be awesome. I mean, I don't know if they'll do this, but you know what would be really cool, Kenna?
What?
For Jedi 3, since they had such a close relationship in the behind the scenes of Jedi 2, I'd love someone, whoever the villain of Jedi 3 is, to be voiced by like Mark Hamill. Like, just like, because people forget this, but in the
people want Cal to see Luke, and I said no.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like a villain.
That's why I'm saying that would be better.
Yeah, I don't need to see Mark Hamill. I just want to hear
like in a movie.
Good.
movie or a game. So in
Because
the,
I'd be kind of into Luke Skywalker making an appearance in the third Star Wars Jedi game. I would be.
I'm not. Here's the thing: they would just have to do it right because what's so
They
smart.
will.
Yeah.
That game's good.
Right. Because what I love about compared to the sequel trilogies, they both do kind of nostalgia bait. But what makes the Star Wars games better about it is that they're obviously smart about it, and it's also more casual. Like when in the Force Awakens, they're like, look, it's the Millennium Falcon, look, it's Han Solo, look, it's Chewbacca, and it's like, okay, we know. But with
what they could do is
games,
they
or
got
like
Luke back.
Andor, even with Andor in the last episode, they're like, look, it's Yoda. I'm like, But when I was playing Fallen Order and you get to the planet where Cal is trying to fix his lightsaber, he gets.
Did you just spoil the end of Andor
Whatever.
season 2 right now? Oh my god!
Season 1. Whatever.
Oh,
That was Andor, not the Acolyte that Yoda was in.
No, not Andor. I meant Acolyte. Did I say Andor?
okay. Yeah, no,
You
you're
said
spoiling the
Andor.
Acolyte over here.
I meant Acolyte, not
I
Andor.
couldn't finish the Acolyte.
The last episode of Acolyte, we see the back of Yoda's head, and I feel like everybody kind of eye rolled, right? We're like, ugh. But back to Cal going on the planet to get a new Kyber crystal. He just name drops him so casually, and I was like, oh my god, he said Yoda. Like, I was like excited, and then that was it. It never expanded upon it, and I think that was good. So even though my thing is just like, I don't want the cameos to be I don't want them to become too focused on them and really just keep it with Cal for the most part.
What if
Become the MCU?
Yeah.
What if it was a part in the game? What if the ending? So they did two things, right? Because I've talked about this. What if they did something they were talking about for a while? They tried to do it with Jedi 2, but they didn't do it with Jedi 2. So what if they saved it for Jedi 3? And there was talks there a long time that they wanted to do something with Ahsoka and Cal, but maybe they do something with Luke and Cal instead, where they give more of a co-op experience for the third game. Similar to the Arkham game.
I think you have so much more freedom and liberty with a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you like, Game of Thrones is about to do this. There's literally a Game of Thrones game coming out with that like Batman style gameplay.
Well, and you're an Arkham gameplay?
Yeah, it's similar to that.
When's the game coming out?
It's probably a little ways away. I think it has a name and it has like a trailer, but that's about it. Not an even real gameplay trailer yet.
I'm going to check out the trailer. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, look it up while I talk about it if you want on a separate tab. And yeah, it looks really cool, man. And you're a fictional house in the world of Game of Thrones, but you're still fighting alongside like Jon Snow and other heroes of the world. Like, you take ideas like that and you work it with Star Wars, and as long as it's well written enough, as long as like in Jedi Survivor, I think is a pretty good improvement from what's the first one? What's the first one called? Fallen Order, right? And like especially writing wise,
yeah,
and gameplay wise, like it's just an improvement of a game. If they can just continue that kind of like what they got going there and then bring it into more main characters, I'd be into that. And I think that would pull a lot of people in, like if it was well done enough. But I'm totally okay with it having its own identity rather than like what you're saying and like, hey, like here come the cameos and here come all the, like
thinking that, so this will be kind of spoilers for Survivor if no one.
I haven't beat it.
You haven't?
Ooh. No.
Okay,
I know. I need to start it over. I made it to like when you fight that one-armed guy like the second time.
I'm not gonna put that guy up, but after you finish the main story, there's a side mission. And when you complete that side mission, a character shows up. So what I would like for the third game to do is that maybe you don't have Luke be in the actual main story, but if you finish the main story and there's still gonna be like extra missions, maybe there's a mission that Cal goes on and you get to see Luke at the end of the mission completed. Maybe something like that. Or maybe you have Luke be in the main story somehow as a mini cameo, and then you just pick maybe like Ahsoka, for example, or Han. Or I would really like Lando. I think that would be cool to see Lando in the game. But
I mean, it would be cool to just see all these characters again together, essentially the way we should have in the sequel trilogy. You know what I mean? Where it's like we never got that moment of everyone back together. Like we got Han and Leia back together, right? And that was.
I just think so. Yeah.
Or did they even see each other? I can't even remember.
I don't
like. Did Luke and Leia ever see each other, or did any of them at some point?
He saw
I think Han and Leia do, right? Don't they?
He saw Leia when
with Rey.
I don't know.
Or they talk about him. I don't know because Rey's with Han.
Yeah, Rey's
right?
with Han.
And they go and they see Leia, and like Leia and Rey hug.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting right back into Star Wars.
The reason why I think here's the thing, I guess I'm not so against it because it makes sense because with the time skip of the two games, it was Fallen Order, it's after Order 66, and then Survivor's 5 years after Fallen Order. I think the third game will be another 5-year time skip, and it is getting closer to the original trilogy, so it does make sense that Cal would get.
Well, no. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right. Oh my god, I don't know why I kept thinking it was in sequel trilogy territory.
That looks sick. That looks absolutely sick.
What?
You looked up the game.
Oh, the Game of Thrones thing? Yeah,
I went to
man.
watch the trailer for. Yeah.
Yeah, and if they did something like that with Star Wars, I mean, what's it called?
Well, I've said this from the beginning, and I'll it's Warriors of Westeros, I believe.
Right. Okay.
But I've said this for a long time, and I don't know why they ever canceled this idea. I've said this for a while. And obviously people can argue what it takes, because people have been talking about, what's going to save Marvel, right? And then you talk about what could save Star Wars. There's only one way that I think that you could ever truly make proper good Star Wars content, again, that everyone would be on board with. And you'd have to do it, you'd have to give it to someone that you could really trust. But the only thing that people want to see, because we can't go too far in the future because new characters suck. We can't keep messing with the past characters. And the problem with the Starfighter thing is we're still pushing in that secret of going too far. We should be going backwards. We should be going before the prequel. We should be going before even Acolyte and jump right into Old Republic. That's what we should be doing. Because if we were doing that,
but the problem with Disney's Star Wars is they don't want to use what already exists in the extended universe. If anything, they want to adjust what existed in the extended universe and make it theirs now. Literally, this is what they've done. That's Kylo Ren is like a ripoff. This whole sequel trilogy was stolen essentially from the expanded universe and slightly adjusted. You know what I mean? And here they go making their own thing. And instead of Old Republic, they're like, what if we went with High Republic? They started writing High Republic books, and they're like, we're going to start creating a lore different from the normal Skywalker lore that we can do something with. And then that's where is the Acolyte from High Republic content, I think.
Yes.
I'm not told. Yeah. Yes. You know what I mean? So that's their plan. You know what I mean? Is it's not about trying to make the extended universe stuff big. It's about trying to make what they have created big so they can take all the credit.
The thing that sucks so hard though is the High Republic part of Star Wars, it failed. And then they went to go and proceedably tell stories continuously with High Republic things. But
are the books actually bad?
Yeah,
that's
they're not good.
I've never read them. I own one of them even. I bought the first one when it came out just to be like, oh, maybe I'll read this, and I never did.
There's no interesting characters because they're all about the Jedi being at the height of their power, but they have no enemies worth the height of their power. It makes no sense.
The High Republic story is really Jedi Survivor with the main bad guy Dagan Gera, because him and his story is he was he's a good case of like it's technically the same story again, but they do it in a different way that it doesn't feel bland. Where he was a Jedi, but then he fell into the dark side, and it's
We
just
fell into the dark side on this episode.
We'll get back on track.
Yeah. Well,
we're getting 8 views, so we must be doing
No,
something
let it
right.
flow. Let it flow. Don't mind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the hate flow.
Do it.
Do it. Do
Dagan
it, best.
Gera,
Do it.
I really loved him as the bad guy in the second game. I liked him more than the first one, to be honest. And what I like about it is that the Star Wars games, the Jedi series specifically, it's within the universe, but it's also very personal and tight-knit with the characters themselves, but open enough that it doesn't feel like there isn't any room to breathe and to really explore the expanded universe. Because Dagan Gera's story is that he had a trusted other Jedi Master friend, but it's kind of implied that they were into each other, but they don't really go deep into it. And she can see that he's falling down the path because he becomes too obsessed with Tanalorr, the planet, which is supposed to be the safe haven for, I think, the Jedi in general, and I think there was another alien race, but I can't remember their names right now. But he becomes just too obsessed about it, and that's what causes him to go down the dark path. And I don't know. Overall, good writing. Yeah, that's all I really got to say about Star Wars.
One thing I'll say before we get off Star Wars is I'm constantly trying to think about games we could all play together besides Marvel Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it would be nice to have some variety. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I love Marvel Rivals and like having a Marvel game to play with everybody.
What did you have in mind?
I mean, I don't know if you guys own Battlefront 2, but
I do. I'm down for playing Battlefront 2 because Oh, do you not have it, Kenna?
No. My thing is like, are they going to make a Battlefront 3? People
I hope
want
so. It's not even announced yet, though. So
No.
once it does get announced, you're still looking at like another at least
2
year
is
away.
probably like on a super good sale right now. They've made so many good sale copies of that game.
Yeah, Battlefront 2. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe it's on sales and stuff. You have
It should
PlayStation
be.
Plus. Who knows? It might be on something like that.
Maybe.
I know they have the
Yeah,
games
I'd look
catalog
into
and
it.
stuff.
I think it's fun.
But-
I love the heroes and villains mode.
Yeah, that's
Especially
fun. I just like even the normal mode, just being like a stormtrooper or being like a rebel soldier and running out
It'd
and
be
like
fun
actually
to
getting into
play
battle.
it'd be fun to play. I think it's called Strike Down, where you play as the different groups, and
Right.
sometimes you play as the Empire, sometimes you're the rebels, and you basically play as this without any hero assist, and you have to go and achieve an objective and
Cool.
work together to
I
go
like
and
that.
achieve the objective.
And I'm so in the Battlefield that like it literally is Battlefield but Star Wars. So I'm so down to play it.
Make it, so I'm down.
Yeah,
Even if we
dice.
have to wait for Kenna to join us, if you want to just play with me for a while till Kenna gets it figured out, you just holler at me. I'll re-download it and jump on.
Give it a download, man. I'm so down. I really am. So I'll download it too.
Before Marvel's Avengers came out, when I started my like big gaming streaming career on YouTube, when me and Jake first really became friends, we were on our streaming service. What was it called? We used to work for a company called Uplive. It was a Chinese app, and we used to stream Battlefront religiously. Like Jake would always say, because we were the Marvel guys, Jake would always say, "Oh, we'll be playing this until this game comes out," and then that game came out, and then we wasted our money and was useless. But
I was obsessed with the first Battlefront when the first remake, essentially, whatever you want to call it.
I have both games.
Yeah, I never got into 2. It was harder to because all the microtransaction drama that came out with the game.
Once they got through all that, it got so good.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad game. And like, it's just cool to have a game that's like the full Star Wars universe, even if you don't like the sequel trilogy. It's kind of cool to still have it there.
What I love about that game is the hardest grind I've ever done, even more than getting a Lord on my Marvel Rivals. The hardest grind I ever did was they baited me, dude. They said, because I'm a mall guy, right? they said if you get like, I think it's like, what was it, 60,000 kills with the dark side and like this thing, then you get the small skin from Rebels for free. So dude, I pulled out Vader, I pulled out Dooku, I pulled out Boba Fett, and I grinded that shit. Like I had to have it, man. I couldn't help it. And Jake and I, one of Jake's favorite moments was when we played the Heroes and Villains mode. There's this thing in that there called arcade mode that you could play online. And there's this really funny, I don't know if Jake has the footage of it, but there's this really funny voice clip of Jake where we were playing, where I beat a challenge before Jake. And Jake got so mad. So there's this challenge where you had to get 33 kills in under 3 minutes or something. And Jake was like, 33 kills in under 3 minutes? That's bullshit. And he was just like, he was so mad that it took him forever to do it. I did it like remember when we were doing the podcast and you beat Nightmare 4? I did it like that. Like it was so easy for me. And he was just like, funny. He would get so mad at me. I loaded that thing over his head for years. He said, "Oh my gosh, this story is classic." Yeah, you remember, Jake, how crazy it was? You were literally like, 53 kills in under 3 minutes? That's bullshit. And I clipped that shit because I was dying every time. I would tell everyone that story because I've seen Jake mad at games. I've never seen Jake that mad at a challenge ever again. Like, you think about him getting pissed at rivals, you guys didn't see the peak Jake era. You didn't see the real shit.
The real
funny. The real Dr. Strangerverse, yeah.
And it's because of playing Battlefront that I got my first YouTube name too. Because the reason I first was Yoda Joe was because when I played Battlefront, I would play Yoda. And
you were a Yoda main?
Like Yoda. Yeah, I was a Yoda main. I love me some Yoda. When I played Light Side, I was Lording Yoda, yeah.
Lording Yoda.
And Yoda's pretty good. I really like Anakin. I like playing Anakin a lot. One of the reasons I'd go back to that game, because there's not many games that has it, is I would play the fuck out of Count Dooku, man. Count Dooku is my dude, man. The fact that he actually plays, like, since Christopher Lee, they actually took the time to make him play like a fencer, since Christopher Lee had the actual fencing, like, techniques. So I thought that was awesome. So, yeah, Battlefront 2, I'm down beyond belief. Yeah. Like, there's no doubt.
I said, as much as it, obviously Marvel Rivals is fun, I would personally like to find a game that's not really attached to an IP, like Star Wars or Marvel, some non-related to the whatever other interests that we like.
Yeah, no, I get that. There's always Among Us types of games like those. You know what I mean?
I don't know if Among Us would be my kind of game personally, but I don't know.
Among Us is fun.
Might like it. That's just, I don't know.
I've played Among Us.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's for me.
Among Us is perfect for like the gaming room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the gameplay. I just have never really been. It's just not my thing.
I'll find something else. That's all good.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. Unfortunately, a lot of them are just so PC based. You know what I mean? So that's where I really struggle. It's like, yeah, there's like Peak. Are we? What's the RV one? RV Moving yet or something like that? I don't know.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, there's a bunch of just cheap PC multiplayer games that are really fun, and like I don't know if a lot of them will ever even come to console.
It's a shame because there's this one game, I don't remember what it's called, but it's on stream, I'm pretty sure. And it's basically you're like sock puppets on court, and you can make up fake allegations against your friends.
Yes, I think I've seen that too. Yeah, that's really funny.
I want that. I think that would be so fun.
The problem too with it is some of them really are so mature themed that they struggle with getting them on consoles because they know it opens it up to like kids.
Right.
And like Steam is different. It's a computer, it's a computer based thing. Like you don't have to really worry about that.
That are full on co-op.
Like there's one that's like Schedule 1 is one where you literally deal drugs and like grow them and stuff, but it's funny as hell. You know what I mean? But like, and I have friends that really want to play it that don't have PCs, and I've looked it up and it's like it may never come to console because it's so mature of a game that they struggle to even get it on there. You know,
Mhm.
I believe
like
it.
yeah.
It's a shame.
I mean, on console, I have almost every Call of Duty game ever made. I'm trying to think, what's it called? I have one of the Battlefield games. It's not the newest one, but it's the one I got with my PS5.
Oh, that's
Um,
probably Cold War.
for Battlefield.
Oh, Battlefield. That's probably 1942 or 2042.
Okay. Yeah, I have it, and unfortunately, because I've played other games, I have not touched that game except for
No,
maybe
that game's
once.
not good. Everyone didn't like that game for the most part. That's what I
Oh,
remember. It's
okay.
like Battlefield 6 was like a huge comeback for the franchise, really.
Oh,
Um,
that's good. I'm trying to think
yeah,
of a good.
but
Trying to think from my
while we're
collection.
talking about video games a bit, I want to
You
mention.
want to dive into your thing? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, we got a couple of games. Outer Worlds 2, it did come out a little while ago, but I started playing it in the last week, and it's cool. Like some people sleep on the first game. I think the second one's definitely an improvement. While I haven't fully played the first game, I think that what up? If you want to say what up, Joe, to
Hey,
Brandon
Brandon.
there.
Welcome, Brandon. What up, Brandon?
So just like it has more RPG elements if that's something you're into, like the grinds, the statistics, the okay, well, there's flaws in this now. Like, okay, they give you the option to reject them if you don't want them, but they pop up every once in a while. And sometimes they have positive effects as well as the negative effects. Like I got one that increased my healing, but also increased my toxicity from using said healer. You know what I mean? So like there's all kinds of flaws in the game that you get as you continue to get better in other aspects. So like there's different avenues to go down through the campaign, and like you truly can't do everything in one run, which is pretty like cool. It's actually builds towards specific directions rather than a game that allows you to do everything. Which gives it replayability at the same time. It's a
Right?
first person shooter. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, there's a shit ton of dialogue. I can tell you that. Like, it's people just, word vomit at you essentially, paragraph after paragraph, which you just got to be in the right mood of learning the lore of a world and getting into it. But I think it's a good game. I don't think it's anything, world breaking. But another one I want to mention is Dino Blade, which
Okay.
I've been so pumped for. I love dinosaurs in general, and so this is a dinosaur Souls like. You play as a dinosaur that like holds a sword in its mouth and fights other dinosaurs with weapons in their mouth. Like I've seen like swords, hammers, and then at the end of the demo, you actually fight a dino with another little dinosaur in its mouth. All right, that like explodes. I was like, oh my god, mind blown. And so far the demo is fun. It actually got a little challenging at times. I would like to see some more like fast-paced craziness because like the very first animation that was ever shown for this 3 years ago on Instagram, and I've been following it since, so it's so cool to see it get a demo, was almost like a Devil May Cry animation, like sword fucking swing, like dinosaur
That
grabbing it
sounds
with
dope.
its mouth, like jumping up and then like swirling downward as it like shot guns with its little arms and then swung the sword around in its mouth.
Speaking of that game, I'm still working on that game. Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, Devil May Cry 5 is a good game, man. The only thing that I just wasn't crazy about with it is that you're basically in the same setting the entire game, like climbing up that tree.
So speaking of video games, Brandon's got a question for us about video game movies that I think are pretty relevant to this topic. Let's see what we got here.
Two franchises of movies I don't follow at all. Funny.
I'll take this one.
Yeah, you take that one, Joe.
Joe follows Mortal Kombat. I follow FNAF.
Speaking of, okay, I'll tackle Mortal Kombat, and you can tackle Five Nights at Freddy's.
All right.
So I'll read this aloud, and we can all kind of give our take on it. Oh, hey AJ, welcome. Speaking of live action video game adaptations, I got to do my narrating voice, otherwise it's more fun. Speaking of live action video game adaptations, do you think Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Mortal Kombat 2 will be good? You don't follow Mortal Kombat? Wow, Underground said. Was that directed at Luke?
No. I do play the Mortal Kombat games. I've never watched the movies. I've never watched a single Mortal Kombat movie. I have played the Five Nights at Freddy's first game, and I played that weird spin-off one someone made, where you're in that room with the TV. I forget. You know the name of it? I forgot though.
You're good. You're
The
good,
Joy
Jake.
Creation.
Yeah, Joyful Creation. I played that a little bit, and I've never seen the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. No.
You're good, AJ. We're glad you could pop in and smash the like whenever you could. So on this one, now Kenna will handle the Five Nights at Freddy thing. Jake said he thinks Mortal Kombat 2 had a better chance at being better, and I'll say why. Okay, so the Five Nights at Freddy movie was already very well received, and I think that a sequel, it will be good. And I'm sure Kenna will have more thoughts to say on this matter in a minute. But I'm kind of a Mortal Kombat expert because...
Can I just say, though, that Five Nights at Freddy's, it wasn't critically well received, but fandom liked it quite a bit.
Saying.
Right.
Fandom-wide, people love it.
I'll get into that. Joe, do your Mortal Kombat.
So
I just wanted to...
So Mortal Kombat 1. I was one of the rare people in the rare camp that I didn't grow up on. I played all the games, but I wasn't so nostalgic towards the old games that I immediately hated the first movie. So for me, the first movie was enjoyable enough. It doesn't touch the original Mortal Kombat with the classic music, but it was enjoyable enough for me. And so, but the sequel, ever since that trailer has been, I actually got an update on the views. That trailer has probably the best ratings for video game live action trailers they've made, which is crazy. It's been blowing up. But in general, I mean, they made the choice. As much as I'm a big Louis Tan person, they made the right choice, focusing on the best Mortal Kombat character. They're bringing in Johnny Cage. They got Carl Urban, who's blown up in The Boys, and so that's great. And the idea of Mortal Kombat, when I saw the trailer for this second movie, if we're going with the job, I always tell people this: the job of a trailer. We'll talk about that in a second, Jake. The job of the trailer is to get people hyped for the movie. And even though they've delayed this movie, I don't think it's coming out till May. From what it was originally supposed to release. It was actually originally supposed to release 1 month ago.
I think Carl Urban as Johnny Cage is cool, but I really wanted to see Brad Pitt as Johnny Cage. I think that would have been
I just don't know if he would be into Mortal Kombat. That's the problem. I
don't know. I feel like he did Bullet Train. He does stuff that's actually...
But they all cast, they went through a routine of a rotation of looking at different actors. It wasn't we're just all of a sudden going to Carl Urban. I think they definitely looked into other people.
No, for sure.
And I think that maybe they did look to Brad Pitt, and maybe he just didn't fit what they wanted.
Maybe.
Because we have to trust these casting directors. We have to trust that the people that they hire on, because that's how, with...
I just feel like Brad Pitt would have been almost like a Robert Downey Jr. casting for
it would have been
Iron Man. You know what I mean? It's he is like Johnny Cage almost. You know,
I think the crazy thing is, I think that Carl Urban, the big thing is they put so much effort into it. I watched a video the other day that said that it took him. He was nervous about doing the fight scenes because if you look at his filmography, he doesn't have a record of movies where he does a lot of fighting.
That makes sense.
Specifically martial arts. And so he took his bow staff home, and apparently he practiced so hard before the takes for the trailers and filming the movie that he broke plates in his apartment and he couldn't practice at home anymore because he went so crazy on the scene where he's fighting Baraka from the trailer. He starts just spinning the bow staff, just going crazy. And so to me, yeah, I think Mortal Kombat will be successful because they've had multiple test screenings. Even if the movie isn't critically acclaimed, I think audiences are going to eat this up, especially if the music. I heard people that saw the fan screenings that the music is crazy. If we hear the it's going to be.
That's all people want. That's all people want.
I just want fatalities. I just want an actual tournament, which they promised. Our characters, and like Jake said about the first movie, one of the best things about the first movie is the character of Kato absolutely stole the show with how hilarious he was, and he's back in this movie. And the fact that they got, for you guys who have played the Mortal Kombat games, they got Shao Kahn up in here, man. He looks like a menace. They cast a freaking big bodybuilder with a big bloody hammer to play him, and that dude looks insane. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a hit, but I want to see what Kenna has to say about her side of Five Nights at Freddy.
Okay.
I like talking about Mortal Kombat for hours.
So I think FNAF 2 will be good, and I think it will be better than the first movie. And what Luke said earlier is that objectively, or I guess critically, the movie isn't amazing. Like, I remember I said it's like a 7 out of 10 movie, but as a fan, it's like a 10 out of 10. Because people have been waiting for a FNAF movie since the second game came out. And so just the fact that like the fandom got it, everyone was happy. And the thing about the only two things, but only one of them counts, is that at first I didn't like where the story was going, because in the games there's this family called the Afton family, and they're very important to the lore. But in the movie they switched up the family members that they're not related. Like Josh Hutcherson's character Mike in the first film. In the game, he's the son of William Afton, who is played by Matthew Lillard. But they switched that in the movie, and at first it was a bit jarring. But in the long run, when they keep making these FNAF movies, they're gonna take some things from the game but change it, because as much as I will have a special place for FNAF in my heart, the more that the story continues in the game, it gets so convoluted, and it's like going into like this. I can't even go into detail because I would just be saying gibberish, but like it kind of loses the plot, but it's still fun. And and in hindsight, it was kind of bound to happen, because originally Scott Cawthon, the maker of FNAF, the origin story of the first FNAF game is that he made a happy-go-lucky kind of beaver game on Steam. And one review said it looked like a creepy animatronic thing. And so he's like, oh, well, let me make a game about creepy animatronics. And that's what birthed FNAF. My only other critique about the movie is specifically the character Vanessa, who's a cop in the movie. Now, in the games, she's a security guard, and she was supposed to be the bad guy in the 8th game called Security Breach. I don't even know if that's the right number, but and she was supposed to be the bad guy, but she's hardly even in the game, and they just bring back William Afton as the bad guy, and people just didn't like that. So I was hoping that she would be done differently in the movies. And even though I like her, I mean, I'm not against that she's a good guy in the movie series, but I just wish she had the time to actually be the bad guy that she was supposed to be in the games. But it's okay. I also think that the second movie will be better because the second game got even better. So I think it will be just following that with the whole the second game. They get new animatronics, and they're called the toy version. So it's like Toy Freddy, Toy Chica, Toy Bonnie, and they're like the newer technology. They're advanced. They're not rusty or dirty looking, and so that will play a plot point in the movie for sure. And we'll also be getting other characters like Balloon Boy and the marionette / the puppet, which play major roles. And it's going to be very curious of how they do the puppet, because the puppet in the game plays a very important role, as the ghost that possesses that animatronic is the child of William Afton co-worker Henry Emily, I think his name was. So it'll be interesting if they keep that aspect or they change it in some way. And based on the trailer, I like how they're doing callbacks to the game mechanics, because in the trailer you have Mike, and he puts on a Foxy mask when an animatronic was coming at him, because in the second game, if you put on a Freddy Fazbear mask, the animatronics will think you're one of them and not the security guard that they keep trying to kill. So I like how they're pulling some things from the game as just like the actual gameplay into the story. So I really like that, and I think it will be better. later on. I'm personally really excited once they get to it is to make a movie adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location, which is one of my personal favorites in the game series. And
Yeah, I heard that was really good. What was that one called?
It was really good gameplay and story-wise, especially story-wise. But again, what will be interesting when they do that adaptation, what made that game so good in the series is that that's the game where he really went deep into the history of the Afton family and how they all worked within the Freddy Fazbear franchise pizzeria. So again, because they made these family changes within the movies, it'll be interesting how, even if they do it at all, of how they will adapt Sister Location. But excited for the movies.
That's pretty cool. So AJ wants to tell Luke that his brother played Outer World 1. So that's
cool.
Yeah. So thanks for that question, Brandon. I believe our next, Luke, do you want to do your GTA topic next, or do you want to talk about...
Might as well. We're still on video games, so yeah. Just GTA 6 obviously got delayed. That's a huge thing for a lot of people, from May all the way to November now. And we'll see if it even comes out next year. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this be the last delay. But I don't think a lot of people realize that, one, it's probably not going to come out on PC. It's going to be a console-only release because that's how 5 went. And, I don't know. I feel like from when this game was first being developed, that's kind of was the mindset. It's like only in the last, 5 years, 10 years have really PC, taken over. Because before that, I feel like a lot of people were very console, and, people have started to go more PC. There's a lot more Steam games, a lot more options. Then also what just came out, they just posted that GTA 6 is going to have pride parades, and I just saw so much hate, pour out of this post, and it's just oh no, GTA is going to be like the real world, just like everybody wants. Oh no, parts you aren't going to like are going to be in it. Deal with it. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see, because I saw some serious hate. We're going to make KKK groups in this game. It's yo, chill. You need to calm down.
We're just in a place right now, especially in our society, unfortunately, in these fandoms and in the real world, where there's so much hate and negativity on so many things, and everyone's choosing a side on where they stand on these topics, because either you're this, that, or this thing, or you don't support this, that, and that thing. And there's really no winners or losers, because it's all kind of just a bad situation. And,
you're right.
And unfortunately, we're feeling the same thing in video games, because unfortunately there's a part of people in the fandom where they're trying to be inclusive, but also it's kind of an issue right now, because it's I get they're trying to include more people that are that, this, and that other thing, but at the same time, some people who are really just not down with these themes, they just upset about it, because they don't think that other people deserve the thing that they feel was made for them. And
right, and it's why can't it just be for everybody and we be happy about that? The fact that they're trying to let everybody have a good experience out of this, I just can't stand that stuff. And I'm looking very forward to seeing bans on people like this playing this game. I can't wait to see these kind of people crying about how they can't play GTA 6 online anymore. Because they're not going to go out and make a new freaking PlayStation console profile or new Xbox profile just to buy the game again, so that they can, they're not going to do that. And I just can't wait to see these hateful people get banned the way that I really hope Rockstar addresses it and it takes care of it correctly. And part of why I used the picture in the thumbnail with Trevor from GTA 5, when I looked up the pride thing, that's what popped up. And plenty of people, even in these comment sections, were mentioning to the hateful people, dude, this exists already in GTA 5.
Yeah,
This exists already in GTA 4. The Ballad of Gay Tony is a DLC in GTA 4. Like, it's been around in GTA forever. Like, it's just, yeah, the hate is really
I
bubbling
mean,
over.
it's just stupid because, like, we're going to talk about this in our another topic that's not on our thumbnail that we got to cover that I have for us. That's also video game related on video game news. Because I saw something in regards to this that's not necessarily a gay thing or a homophobic thing or anything like that, but it's something that I was just like, what? People are mad about this, and we'll get to it in a minute. But on this one, I just feel like these kind of people, and I mean this in the nicest way, and I know that, the internet, it scares people that don't know how to control it, but like, and I know that, even with AI and all these different things that people can't be fully stopped or banned at this point, but unless it's in a video game. But these unhinged people, they gotta find a way, some system in the internet. Like, I don't know what who's it that made Twitter? Elon Musk.
He bought it.
He
No.
bought it. Okay.
He bought
Yeah,
it.
no, it's okay.
Okay. But just in general, Twitter is out of control. It's become so unhinged, and these type of stuff that's happening with video games, it's gotten so bad that there's death threats, there's people doing horrible things to each other, and it's just no one can have a conversation in this community anymore about having a different opinion.
It's hard to, for sure.
Like,
but there's
like
still
this
good
is-
people out there, though, Joe. It's something you
Yes.
literally say. And I think about where it's like, if you stick to your long form content, if you're not a grifter, you know what I mean? Like, you will
Yeah.
build a community over time. And that
Yeah,
is
that's-
true.
and that's-
It may
and that's
take
the goal.
a while, but like, you will build a community of people that
They
aren't
just need
like
to see
that.
they just need to see your point of view through and through, and don't flip flop, don't change, no matter how much something riles you up or upsets you. Always stay on the side. To me, I've chosen the path of fair criticism over the path of grifting. I'm never going to grift on something because it has this, that, or the third thing. I need to tell the truth about it. That's why I don't care how many Doomsday premieres I could go to, how many premieres for Spider-Man and all those other things I could go to. If it means I have to sell my soul to the mouse, I'm not doing it. Because it's not worth it. Oh, I can get all this early access and be like new rock stars and all those other things. But
Right.
is it worth it to sell your soul? To say, I can't say this is bad. I have to give the Marvels a 10 out of 10, or I'll never get to go to another movie premiere.
Or
And that
just
was a
give it
real
the
thing.
best you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make sure you talk about it positively, this and that, yeah. And
Yeah.
I've seen with video game reviews specifically, like I've looked it up, and because I'm like, oh man, how much did IGN get paid for this one? You know, and
Yeah.
they don't necessarily get paid for it. It's that, yeah, it's exactly what you're saying. You have a reputation with these people and these companies, right? And they see your reviews, and the more that you give them bad reviews, the less likely they are to give you review copies and all these other things. But then when you do give them nice reviews, the review copies come in. The free trips out to wherever across the world all of a sudden come in. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like the options, the opportunities that they give you. They don't
like,
pay
when
you.
you
They give
when
you
get
other
something
stuff.
good, like when you get something good, like Disney. If you want to look back at my X-Men '97 season 1 reviews, and you're like, hey, you didn't watch all season 2 in one shot by yourself, I'll take that. I'll take that Disney Plus code if you want to send that to me. I mean, I wouldn't mind, because I gave all positive reviews. And when I did my character ranking for that show, I had over 2K views on my character ranking with over 116 likes and some shit. So
Yeah.
So,
It's just the consistency on top of it. You know what I mean?
yeah. So it's
But-
like, if I'm consistently giving good stuff, like, if I'm gonna I'm gonna call out your shit when it's bad, but like when I'm going with fair criticism, I'm not leading because, oh, hey, this has a girl boss in it. Join with Joe. Is that what you're saying, AJ?
I don't know what that means, but
What do you mean by join with me, AJ? Are you saying you're joining with me with my side of things? Is that what you're saying? Like, because that would make sense if that's what you're saying.
while we're on controversial topics, I guess it's worth mentioning the whole Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. I don't know his actual name. I just know the actor name. Or I mean,
Did
sorry,
something bad
the
happen with
character
him
name.
recently?
Oh yeah, sexual assault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that just came
assaulted
out.
someone or someone assaulted him?
Nah, he assaulted some woman.
Crazy.
And yeah, he just I just saw a post that he just stepped away from the comedy group. So he no
From the
longer will
group that
be.
was he still doing Trailer Park Boys stuff? Or
Yeah. So I believe he's all done with Trailer Park Boys now. And his career is pretty much all over,
Yeah.
probably. And also a bunch of stuff's coming out about Jeremy Renner right now. That's
Oh,
not
yes.
good either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he seems to be a pretty bad person, apparently.
what's happened on the Jeremy Renner thing?
I
Spill the tea. I
this
want to get into it. What's the
story
Jeremy
went to
Renner?
on. He supposedly he
Thanks,
threatened to
bro.
call ICE on one of his Asian
That's what.
stars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I saw another thing recently today. Not anything controversial, but I saw some interview that Oscar Isaac did. And apparently he says that he's willing to work with Disney again only if they don't bend the knee to fascism, which is aka probably the Trump administration. So, and then I read the comments and everyone's like, oh, so Moon Knight season 2 is not happening, or no more Poe Dameron, because that's what I really love about Oscar Isaac and other actors like him too, like Pedro, is that even though they're very successful and they're popular, they will also stand their ground on their morals or what they believe in. So, yeah, as much as I like Oscar, I don't, Moon Knight is a very slippery slope in this future of Marvel, especially with Marvel being owned by Disney. So, I don't know. I just thought I would throw that out there because that's what I've seen recently.
So you think that this spells doom and gloom for him because you think that Disney's owned by that administration?
I don't think Disney's not necessarily owned, but the problem with Disney, and we said this before, not just with Star Wars, but like with all their other IPs, is that when you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one, and that's what happened with, the Owl House TV show. There was an animated
But I
series called.
feel like with Moon Knight,
And
they already proven with the first season that they actually took a risk and took a shot and made something really unique. So
right, and as again, I enjoyed Moon Knight, right? And Moon Knight did pretty good. But the thing is like what I was going to say is that Owl House had a canonically main character gay relationship in the show. And all of a sudden, these like Christian parents were like, no gay people in my children's cartoon, blah, blah, blah. So then Disney cancels the show early. And so obviously the fans of the show are mad. But then days after they canceled the Owl House, they post on their Twitter, Happy Pride Month with like Mickey Mouse and the other characters with on
but
like
that's the weird thing because they're still using gay characters after that thing that happened.
Well, yeah, they're just
still
literally
posting-
catering to people. They're catering to this fan group, and then they're catering to the fact that they have to acknowledge the fact that it's Pride Month. You know what I mean? Like, so they're just an empty vessel of trying to please people in whatever direction they think will actually make people happy, rather than being a genuine anything.
How many times have we heard the phrase Disney's first gay character? I feel like I've heard that so many times. Heard that with LeBoo from Beauty and the Beast. I heard that with that random cop lady from the what's it movie with Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. And I've heard it with I think there was like a Frozen character, I don't know, but it's like how many firsts can there be there for good representation? And it's like again, it's just you can't just go say that you believe in equality and then again cater to those, the Republican.
It's so bad that I took a business class just like 2 years ago at the most, and I was in it with a bunch of like 18, 19-year-olds, right? And even all like we had to do projects on top 100 top Fortune companies, right? So somebody picked Disney. And when they did the group project on Disney, like just talking about all their strategies and everything, a legit argument essentially broke out after the project was presented, and it was just everybody shitting on Disney. You know what I mean? Like an entire classroom of like 18-year-olds like shitting on Disney, and like that they are trying, like the theories that they're trying to push all this diversity and making it bad on purpose. You know what I mean? To make people actually not like diversity. You know, like and these were 18-year-olds, like all getting like a loud room, everyone getting mad about what Disney is doing. You know what I mean? Like, and that was one of the biggest moments for me of like, wow, it's actually crazy that like they've got to this point, you know, where it's like it's just unanimous almost across, depending. I mean, some people fall for it and everything, but you know,
and we're
like,
still facing that problem of they're still pushing this agenda, and it's like, do they not care about making money anymore? Because
I just think it's Bob Iger needs to go. Even if it's not Kathleen Kennedy, I think she needs to go too. I think Kevin Feige needs to go. They all they need kind of a fresh sweep.
The big corporation,
you know what I mean?
People need to be gone. And I think
right.
It's the nicest way, because I've been a fan of his for his animation work. I want Filoni gone. I want Favreau's fine. I want Filoni gone. I want Feige gone. I want Bob gone. I want Kathleen gone, because I think they all are a problem.
Yeah, and they come from a problematic era. Why not just like start fresh? Is kind of, you know, like
talent. We need new blood.
Yeah, it's what the Marvel, it's what MCU needs, it's what Star Wars needs. It's because this is what Disney has done to their popular IPs.
Those are good shows, AJ.
They've sucked dry these IPs they own. You know what I mean? Like
that the creators we have aren't good at what they're doing. So it's time to bring new people in that know what they're doing and have good ideas and know exactly where to go with it.
So should AJ, we talk?
Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to say something to AJ. I also like Gravity Falls, Amphibia, and The Owl House. And you should actually, I recommend this to everybody. There's a animated pilot episode on YouTube called Knights of Guinevere, and it's created by Dana Terrence, who made The Owl House. And it is a good semi-adult animated show where it really critiques Disney, because the plot is that a corrupted Disney, or not Disneyland, but some corrupted amusement park, has this mascot, Princess Guinevere, and they just run her to the ground. No one likes her anymore, and like the main characters, save her. They're her knights, and it's fantasy, sci-fi / thriller. I've just been really into it, so I recommend that to AJ and also everybody to check out if you like shows like Gravity Falls, Owl House.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So our next topic, I want to cover
real quick. Let me get one last thing, because I just remembered it. If you like Nicktoons the way I do, because I grew up in the 90s, there actually was just a Nicktoons game that came out. I was looking at the games that came out in November. There's so many little games you just never hear about. You know, like you only hear about the big ones. And it's just like a 2D beat 'em up. And you can play as like Timmy Turner and SpongeBob and Jimmy Neutron, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like
wait, is that the All-Star?
No, the All-Star ones are Smash Bros. Likes.
Okay.
You know,
so this is a different one?
This is like a 2D like beat 'em up arcade style almost.
This is on console?
Consoles, yeah, everything. And
when did it come out?
Just a few days ago, or yesterday, I think. It was this month. It was this month. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many small games that come out all the time you never hear about. And I mean, it doesn't look like amazing. Check it out. It's called Nicktoons: The Dice of Destiny.
Nicktoons: The Dice of Destiny. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you might like it, Joe. It's definitely our era.
Is it co-op?
I don't know. I didn't look into it too heavily yet. I just kind of saw it. And another one I haven't really looked at all, I haven't even seen gameplay on this one, is apparently there's a Terrifier game coming out this month. I had no idea.
Don't tell Chosen about that. He'll be excited.
Yeah, it's called Terrifier, the Artcade game. And like instead of R, like he wrote in blood over art, like with R-A-R-T. So it's
So
the
is
arcade.
it gonna be an arcade game but with
I
Terrifier?
assume it's I'm assuming here, and assuming he makes an ass out of you and me, but that it's a side-scrolling type of action game that you
Well,
would,
you know,
Castlevania style.
well, I believe it was Deathstroke and Arrow that said it first. Assumption is the mother of all failures. So I had to get that one in there because I
No, you're
thought that was
good.
great.
But I kind of want to start covering like small games that come out like that. That would
I
be
think
cool.
that'd be cool. I
Right.
would be down to look into the Snookin ones. I'm interested to, if it's co-op, I'd like to play it. I think it'd be fun. So I didn't have another gaming topic. Too bad Chosen doesn't have a PS5. Yeah, that's true, Doctor Strangerverse. So the other topic I want to talk about. So as you guys know, we got the news that season 5, of course, is coming out Friday for Marvel Rivals, and we got some Gambit. What'd you say? Oh, you play your song. Yeah.
No.
So Gambit's coming, and there's a bit of confusion between Gambit and Rogue coming. But you want to talk about outrage, dude? I saw the biggest. I've told people for 3 months, Gambit's coming first, and the amount of outrage I saw for Gambit being before Rogue and Rogue being mid-season, right, in December, which it's really only a month away. That's not that bad. And people were literally livid. They're like, oh, of course the female is second, and oh, why do we have to wait for Rogue? I'm like, why? And at first they were all mad.
But it would be the same way the other way around, I feel like, right?
Exactly.
Like they'd be like, no, and like what the fuck, you know?
Yep. And then the thing that was really upsetting about it was the fact that there were people that they put the gameplay screenshot of Gambit as a strategist, right? And even with the picture up there, people kept saying, no, not another DPS. And I'm like, do you not see the screenshot? It says strategist. And they were so convinced.
Another thing I keep seeing people say. So in the wedding in the cinematic trailer, there's clearly Cyclops in attendance.
Yep.
People thought that was Matt Murdock.
I saw that too. They look completely
no,
different.
It's 100% Cyclops.
And I'm sorry, but that entire trailer, if you look at it, everyone in that X-Men wedding are X-Men. There is no other regular Marvel characters other than X-Men as part of that wedding in the trailer. Like, if you look at it, Emma's an X-Men. She's there. Like, they're all there as a part of the X-Men.
I need to watch it still.
It's just a nice little cinematic to the lore that the fact that Gambit and Rogue are getting married. But you gotta watch the gameplay footage because there's a dev stream that revealed all the new tidbits and information. Like, Gambit is, he's a strategist and he's gonna be able to heal multiple people at a time, but also do damage and give damage boosts with his cards.
Okay.
And apparently, I didn't know this, but apparently his ult allows, say someone like Punisher, right? When Groot has his his big wall, right? It enhances. It's not only giving a buff for damage. It's also giving basically a speed boost. So Punisher was able to jump Groot's wall, and he has the cards following him. So when your team up protecting your team, you're giving them double. Oh yeah, his cards also go through walls as well. Thanks, Jake, for bringing that up. So
damn.
And he targets people, and then your teammates, you can heal multiple of them, use the cards, and his kind of main combat, despite being a strategist, he can slam his bow staff into the ground. But then he also does, when he targets people, his cards are similar to Moon Knight when he throws the except there's no arms, right? So with Moon Knight when he throws his little what do they call it, crescent daggers? Here he's just throwing cards and doing crazy damage. And he looks like the highest rated damage character we've gotten for a strategist. And in general, it just looks like we're getting a strategist where it feels different. Oh yeah, and also, Underground said this, you can tell Gambit was hella thirsty for Rogue in that game trailer. Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah. He was gripping on her leg. It was crazy.
and honestly, I wasn't even gonna make this point, but I saw people saying this online. It shows how disgusting people were, or are. A lot of people said that it's a good thing they didn't do Rogue in November because some people are like, oh, no one's gonna survive. No, not November if they do Rogue first. And I was like, dear God, really? You had to go there? Because people are disgusting, man. They're just like way out of control on Twitter.
Anywhere.
Like, I saw people, the moment you see her in like her wedding dress, everyone's like, look at how thick Rogue is, look at her beefy arms, and just like, oh my God, these people are. And I've seen people like posting the meme of like from the original X-Men with Rogue, and she's like, and they're like, why did she have so much cake? I'm like, it's always been a Rogue thing.
Gambit,
get over it.
Got to fight off a lot of people to protect his girl.
I feel like in my future, I'm gonna have to do a Gambit Rogue next contestant music video in the future. Have you heard that Nickelback song, Kenna?
No.
Literally, the lyrics of the song is that your hand on my girlfriend?
Oh, yeah.
I wish you do it again.
Lyric, yeah.
It's so good.
So I think all we got left now is Welcome to Derry, yeah?
Yeah, we'll jump into that. Yeah, so I think, I can't wait I'm going to be doing a reaction video for the Gambit gameplay tonight. So just a little content to tease for everybody, because that's what we do here. We tease our stuff. But yeah, we're going to dive into it. If you guys have not seen Welcome to Derry episode 3, get the fuck out, because we're about to talk real shit right now.
While we start this up, actually, Joe, can you try to do the collab thing? Because I just remembered that.
I don't know if I can yet because it's a live stream. I don't think I can touch it till it's
posted. Till it's done. Okay, no worries.
Because it has to be posted as a video for me to do it, from what I understand.
Okay, no worries.
But as soon as it's posted, I'll click on it, and once it's uploaded, I'll add it and I'll tag your name, so you should show up. So you should get a request from me, and then it will say just accept the request.
Sounds good.
Because I will tag you in the video.
So yeah, we are going to talk spoilers for episode 3 of Welcome to Derry.
If you hadn't seen episode 3, get the fudge out. We're about to spoil the shit out of it. So, it is what it is.
Pennywise dies.
Pennywise dies years before the It sequels. It's like we got a different Pennywise. It's like,
yeah, right.
You never know.
So the Pennywise was actually a clone. And somehow the real Pennywise returns.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah, totally true.
Yeah, did they not tell us that in this story apparently the fake Pennywise is Bill Skarsgård and Mark Hamill was like the real Pennywise? So it's kind of crazy.
I can't believe this episode revealed that Lily is the granddaughter of Pennywise the clown. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's a crazy twist. What?
Oh, God.
Insane.
I'm just kidding. All right.
We're just joshing, so let's get down to business and not to defeat the Huns.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start it off real quick because I've been the hater on this show at the moment. I haven't thought it's been.
Let's go.
It's peak. It's so good. Oh my God. I'm like, it's all right. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Let's see where it goes. Episode 3 is the one that has convinced me that this is like, I like this show and I like what they're doing with it. I'm invested in it. I want to see where it's going. Like we had some okay scares so far, but this episode just leaned into a whole new feeling of horror that I feel the earlier episodes had not quite achieved either. Like when it comes to the scene where Halloran is on the helicopter. You know what I mean? Like
that's that in the episode, yeah.
Yeah, it's incredibly good, and it just captures a whole new feeling that even the movies didn't do. You know what I mean? I feel like not quite like that, and like tapping into that Shining stuff a little bit. Like it was cool. That's another thing I want to mention too right there. Is that Chosen? saying
Yep.
that. Yeah, I feel like this episode was should have been released on Halloween instead of episode 2. 100%. I literally started this, and I think 10 minutes in, I texted Joe and was like, "Yeah, this should have been on Halloween. Like, huge missed opportunity." Everything about this episode is good. Like, I
Yeah.
have critiques on episode 1 and 2. I can't even with episode 3. I like everything they did. The lore building, the like, where is this going to be going when it comes to the Indian people? Where is it going to be going when it comes to Francis Shaw, the military man? Like, what is he exactly planning on doing? I feel like he even knows a little bit more that we don't know yet. Like, I'm actually like, I'm into this now, and I wasn't really before, but yeah, this episode I think is the like, okay, this is a good show. I'm in.
I've noticed it with sometimes with streaming shows with slow build up shows. Episode 3 is where shit starts happening. Like you start to notice, like sometimes it takes a few episodes, like sometimes the first 2 episodes, you're building a story. Okay, the first episode's pretty good. Okay, the second episode, yeah, we're getting there. It's interested. I'm not quitting the show yet. I'm intrigued. But then, man, once episode 3, they start cooking. And then you know there's something going on. What did Jake say?
One thing that Doctor Strangeverse, we're getting Pennywise in clown form next week. I want to say I think it's possible, like the way that they're gonna do this in this show is really cool with Pennywise, where like we talk about the clown thing and how it's like not all that scary anymore. But I like the idea of like it using the clown as a way to disguise himself still among the adults for the kids. And that's what it seemed like at that very end with the picture. And they're like, what is that, a clown? And, like it's, oh, okay, no one's going to believe them still, because that's just a clown. Like, what do you guys, I love that idea
really
of it.
Interesting, and I love this idea to think of. What's really interesting, and I told Ken this on the phone, I think they're doing something different with horror in this show than people expected, because horror has evolved from your just average jump scares. People are sick of that type of horror. And one of the things that I think they're building on, and hopefully they'll build on this towards the finale maybe, or they'll just keep building on it because we know that there's going to be 3 seasons from what I've heard. I could see this going the psychological route. Like, I like what Kenna said. Now that I think about it, Kenna, your whole idea about the about Lily going back to the asylum, right? Mm-hmm. I thought a little bit more about it. I thought about what if Pennywise puts her there? Like, what if he scares her so much, and then she just gets committed there because she goes so crazy from just the sheer psychological terror of what he's able to conjure up.
So my buddy brought up a theory because we were talking about it today, and he was saying like, and this I have no idea if the show will go in this direction, but it's an interesting idea. That there's like, so Pennywise is like a light bringer, right? Like there's a whole lore to the thing, like, and it's funny, like kind of with the entity versus the dimensional. Like I don't know, but he was trying to tell me it's like an alien entity, and right. So like he's not the only one either. So we go back to the scene with the car in the first episode, right? And it's like, is Pennywise this whole family, or is like, because can Pennywise conjure up multiple beings, or can he only be one thing at a time? Because we never actually seen that. And is it possible that there's multiple light bringers in this scene? And like,
I don't know if they're gonna do it in the show, but I remember there is a thing where Pennywise or it has quote unquote siblings or some sort of family, right? That are all, alien entities. I've always assumed that Pennywise takes on multiple forms. At least that's what I've took from the show so far. And then when it comes into the movies, it's, I think he can, because in the movies, there's 2 different scares going on at the same time, because you can't.
Or like the restaurant scene. How does he affect an entire room? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, as far as we know, the only limit to its powers is that if you don't have much fear in you. because the more the fear is in you, the more stronger it is.
Right, and real it is.
This episode, he was able to make it seem the cemetery gate so far away, even though they try to get there as fast as they can, he was pulling it away from them. So he just has, I just take it as like he is so OP, except for, his one weakness, which is like,
that's the crazy thing is because I was telling Luke this earlier when we were streaming.
Maybe the other Lightbringers aren't as powerful as he is, and like that's him being born in that scene.
That's what I think a lot of people believe could be possible, because like the one thing that I have led with, and I still think this is the case, and I think we're going to see this, especially if he truly is like in the next episode what we're hearing, and he's going to take full, like if it's not just a cameo like we got in this episode in the Shine vision, and he's fully in episode 4 fucking shit up and like actually like being what we know him for, but this is going to be prime him, where in this show, the thing about this show they have to be very careful about being a prequel is you can have Pennywise lose temporarily, but you can't have him lose on the same level as like the Losers Club did to him in the first movie. Like the whole thing is in this show throughout the 3 seasons, even if some characters survive, you have to make him kill enough people that Derry is consumed by endless.
Well, that's
where
the other Lightbringers could make sense. It's like there's other antagonists, and he ends up being the only one left, and maybe like locked away or whatever. You know what I mean? Gets put away for a little while until he has a way to come like back out with around the time of Georgie. You know what I mean? Or maybe he stays in the sewers the whole time. I don't know. And why is it that we get in the sewers? What are they building? Waterways? So they're building the sewers, and that's where he's going to be, because I didn't even put that together until right now. But
well, so what happens is the sewer exists, but what happened is in the whole Shine vision, he's pulled from the plane into the sewer. So
right, but I mean in the future, like I'm thinking that, like, because the military is like digging in these areas, and he talks to Rose in this episode, and like in the future, Pennywise, this it thing, like it seems like right now it's confined to the woods, or it was at one point, you know what I mean, and maybe the town of Derry itself. But like if they build more of the town into where the woods were, and they're trying to figure out like, work with me, let's see what areas we can dig up and work with, and I'll work with you, and they end up just doing whatever they want, and let's say these sewers run through these same areas that they're trying to avoid, that would make sense.
We also got to remember at the beginning of episode 1, or that when he takes what's his name? He takes Maddie, and the pacifier flies out the window. We see the sewer. So the sewer is done, I think, in this town already. But maybe they're making expansions to it or something.
That's what I mean. And like maybe like the area in the house that like Georgie and all them lived in was like one of these sewers and streets that would have existed on top of where these burial grounds are now. You know what I mean? Like, because the military is going to go into it anyways, because that's what they do. And she's even saying, I can't trust you as much as, and he's like, I know a man in my position, it's very hard to trust me, but you can trust me. You know what I mean? And it's like, as much as like it seems like Francis Shaw is the good guy, at the same time, he is the government. You know what I mean? He is the military. He is.
I'm like curious to see what they're going to do with him, because it's like, because he has this personal history with Pennywise, he could kill everybody in the army and continue to use Francis, or he could just absolutely kill him, just do whatever.
It'd be very interesting to see Pennywise get involved with like soldiers and start possessing people or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be.
I definitely think that when they come for him or they find wherever he is, I do think that it is going to be a laughable, hilarious defeat, because the intro kind of spoils it already, but we learned from the intro, like theme, whatever, with all the different scenes, that in this show at some point, we're probably going to see Pennywise capable of using guns. Because in the intro, you see the scene of him murdering the gang from the building.
Huh. Yeah, but that
And I
could
don't
be an
know-
illusion at the same time.
Yeah, maybe
But-
it's just a trick. Maybe we don't really see it, but he's gonna have to do something creative to kill them because they're probably gonna send a whole group after him, and then when they send a group after him, he's gonna have to kill all of them because they're all gonna try to either bring him back to wherever their like base is, or it's just gonna be something for sure.
What do you
Because they
think,
want to
Kenna?
weaponize him. Yeah, you've been silent for a while, Kenna.
Sorry, my camera was acting weird, so I was trying to fix it. What I really, it's an odd detail, but what I'm kind of waiting to see if they're going to expand on it in the Dairy show is, are we going to see what they called in the first movie the crack house, the abandoned house where it seems to be that's where his residence is besides the sewers. I wonder if we're going to see that, because we do kind of see it in the opening when like a family's taking a picture and he's smiling in the window, and it's like before it becomes damage. I saw a theory, and I don't want it to be true because it will be sad, but I can totally see it happening. But Charlotte, the wife, I think that's her name, who stood up to the bullies when she was in town. I heard a theory that she may die, maybe by Pennywise or something else. Or I see, I don't know. I think
She doesn't seem to have any fear, though.
No, that's the thing, though.
Right.
Right. But maybe she goes up against it in some capacity. Not like a
Maybe.
fight, but, something, right? Something going on. The thing is that I think it will take an interest in her because in episode 3, she talks about, advocating for the civil rights movement. And from the Paul Bunyan statue, it hates unity. He hates any sort of bond that isn't made with hatred or fear. So she's obviously the opposite of that. So I think he'll take an interest in her and try to shut her down in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, she was the one who stood up to the bullies in the street. And in this episode, she mentions the movement. So I think she'll definitely play a bigger role. And I think she's my favorite character personally out of everybody. As much as I like them all.
She's a good character.
I like them all, to be fair, but I think she is the favorite. I really liked this episode. I told Joey that my one nitpicky, and it's like, take it a grain of salt because it is a TV show, but I did not care for the children ghosts chasing them in the snow.
Sure.
I thought it looked a little. It was not scary. I have yet to be scared.
I agree.
I'm just kind of waiting. And I'm not like a person that's hard to get scared. I think I'm quite not easy, but like normal, I guess. Like some things can spook me, small things. But this show just hasn't yet. And I'm just kind of waiting for it to happen. I'm sure they're saving. I like to think that they're saving the big stuff near the end for all the stuff.
I think it's just one of those things where they're building it up. And I think that when you really look at what's happening in the show, I don't think he's really, like, even though Pennywise has made moves, I don't think he's really emerged. Like, I honestly kind of think and I wouldn't like to use this example because these are very different franchises, but I kind of think they're kind of playing Pennywise almost like a Thanos figure, where he, like, not that he's collecting things, but he's like planning and waiting, and like he waits.
It could be that they truly just woke him up.
Yeah.
And like it was that, before it was just, yeah, sure, his spirit like lingers or whatever, but like nobody has disturbed him. No one's looked for him. And now that he knows he has somebody to play with, you know what I mean? Like actually play with, like it could get amped up. I could be wrong.
Well,
Go ahead
and say what you're gonna say, Kenna.
I said I did like the old, like, scrawny man from the circus that was chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
the
was
whole
cool. And
skeleton
and
thing.
like if
that
you
was pretty spooky. I'll give it that. That was pretty
if you
spooky.
watch the afterwards of the episode, they dive into the episode, and they were talking about how like that was just a manifestation of his own fear, and they talk about that later in the episode of like, you know, one, they talk about like the Spanish word for the deities and or demons or whatever, like horchata. I'm totally saying it wrong, but
That's okay.
like they mentioned that and how like the really really bad ones will like you know take form of your ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the scene with Halloran and literally his grandmother like coming down and floating at him when he thinks he's looking at him. It's like Pennywise is actually looking into his mind while he's in that place.
And that's what
You
I
know
was
what I
going to
mean?
hint at was the fact that that scene, with him, you know, exploring the Shine. My theory actually is, even though he's clearly been active during this show, because it seemed like Pennywise and the Shine, like little vision, whatever, was in the sewer, right? What if by Halloran's actually psychic ability that he clearly has possessed, right? He seemed really spooked when he was talking to the general afterwards. What if he's the reason that Pennywise now starts taking more an active movement? Because the whole Shine thing, we never even knew Pennywise was able to do that. And the fact that he's now looked into this guy that has this ability, and now like he always saw his fear. Now everything becomes tasty to him because now he's seeing the whole way of town being delicious to him because he's like, oh my gosh, this person has this ability, and this woke me up because look at how fearful this person that I'm more powerful than this person, and now I'm gonna get all of it. And I
Right.
think that's something I was kind of cooking earlier. Is like, what if Halloran's the reason that
That's
Pennywise?
kind of what I was saying. Like something woke him up, and that's what it was. You know what I
And I
mean?
think that's the thing it was, because I think, like, you know, a lot of people would say, oh, it's
The
the whole
kids,
cemetery thing, but I
right?
don't think so. I think he was awake from the Halloran thing,
I
because
think so too.
because I think that type of thing, if you go back to the It movies, we've never seen Pennywise be able to look into someone like that, like to challenge him
Or
on that
maybe
kind
it's a
of psychological
combination of
level.
it too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it could
Like
be
maybe
multiple
that
things.
wakes him up, but then he sees this happen, and he's like, "Oh, now we're going." You know what I mean? Like because all these people are interested, essentially. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
think
it's
they're
all
all
getting
trying to
stirred
explore
up
and maybe,
because it's
yeah,
getting more and more. You know what I mean? Like, and you could be right with the whole planting seeds thing, where it's like this
yeah.
is what he wanted essentially to
I
happen.
think it's definitely building to what he's hoping for. I think he definitely wants
And
something that's going to
finally,
be.
they played into it, and now they did it so well for him that he's going to come in like full force. Who
Yep.
knows?
I don't know
Yeah,
how he's going to target people in
but it's
episode
cool. I'm just pumped.
four.
This got good. I'm pumped. Like it's something to actually talk about and look forward to because I really was on the other side of the fence before this episode, where I was like, "Let's see how the next one goes." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I'm really like, "Damn, let's see how the next one goes."
Yeah, I feel like I kind of feel like that's a similar comparison. Like, you look at the other two episodes and you're just starting out, and, you know, there's just a lot of weird things that you're just not really sure of where things are going. And now it just seems like we have a through line. We know that we're really treading into some interesting stuff. The government stuff is interesting. The fact they're bringing in the native people is interesting. I mean, because that's really a huge, crucial thing to the story because of what we know from the It movie, specifically Chapter 2, as bad as Chapter 2 is, because they were the first ones to really encounter Pennywise. So it's going to
Well,
be
are
interesting.
they? Are
Yeah.
they? Well, what do you mean? The people in this show or the people in that movie?
Well, they said years ago that before all the events happened, they were the first ones decades ago to encounter.
I gotta rewatch it, but there was like Mike was going on to Bill about how some tribe was like that who that's where he got the idea of like we all gotta collect our tokens of memories and we all gotta put them together to defeat Pennywise, like that whole thing that they did.
Right.
He was like some tribe did this 1,000 years back, and I think
Then
it is.
Pennywise proved that failed because
Yeah.
Pennywise said something like that they tried that and it didn't work on him, and then he said something in the movie like,
piece,
"Did it?" He said like,
it's because Mike didn't tell Bill at first that one of them had to die. They tried to do the ritual without any of them dying, and then Penny was like, "Haha, you didn't tell them the other part that they had to do." And everybody's like, "What the heck, Mike?" And then that's what happened with Eddie. He died.
Yep,
So.
If it's the only way to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's interesting to see.
But does that even work? Because wasn't it really that they start bullying him and they're not afraid of him?
Going over there, yeah, they started not being afraid of him. To be honest, I don't know. Again, the only real weakness is just to be brave and not have any fear. I feel like if you sacrifice yourself, he's gonna come back and eat more people. So it's pointless to do the whole ritual.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a demon that thrives off fear, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that opened the door. I don't know. Like it's possible.
I just wondered because they're exploring them now, and they covered that he had the encounter with them. So I was wondering, like, what's the reason that now the native people are going to be a part of the story? Because from what we know, that one tribe that he interacts with is supposed to be years ago. Like, it's supposed to be like one of the first things that when he starts really setting into the historical events that have gone on, that's one of the first things he really does. So it's interesting.
Know now is that the military is digging up certain sites, right? And that's how they found the car. If I was, I feel like I might be wrong, even though I just watched it. They were like, why are they digging in these areas? So that's where the conflict is coming from.
That's true.
Native Americans and with the federal government. It's like, hey, you're just like, you're being on our land and you're not really telling us what you're doing here because it's all, top secret. So I think it will be and I think that what's that they don't say his name, I don't think, but that young man who was with that lady who was like, we need to handle it with we need to handle this by ourselves. We need to make the first move. We need to be in charge. And she's like, no, we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way, like by sending a cease and desist and whatnot. And I think he will definitely play a large part soon in the story where he'll go after Pennywise himself, or he'll go after the military himself, but then cross paths with Pennywise soon. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I wonder if Pennywise will find a way to use the military to his advantage. I wonder if he'll use them in any capacity. Like, it'd be interesting because since he hates things so much, could he use their hatred against the native people because they clearly have a different thing going on between each other? So he could use that hatred to make them both kind of kill each other if he wanted to.
I see Pennywise using the military in a way to get at Will because his dad is in the military. Because I can see an episode of the photos, right? They took photos. People still don't believe them. I see Will. Yep. I see a plot point maybe happening with Will going like, hey, my dad's in the military. What if we sneak into the base? Or what if we sneak into his files for something? Like anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Pennywise, messing with them and not wanting, people to figure out that he exists, manipulates his way with some other military people or Will's dad to foil their plans of revealing him. I mean, it could go either way, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
No, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wondering, because the promo for episode 4, these promos are always so vague, but, the only thing I know that's a major thing that why everyone is leaning towards the fact that Pennywise is going to be so major in this episode is because the ending of the promo, I believe we saw Pennywise's shadow. And then we also saw something, of course, in this episode, in the end, we now see them have the realization that, there's this clown. So, And I don't know if you guys noticed it because we saw him in the Shine Vision in the end, but like they kind of did this thing when Will's alone, where Pennywise was one form, and then he actually changed forms when he was hiding in the dark.
Mm.
Like, did you notice that, Kenna?
It's more of like well, I'm wondering is that he's in a part of like some demolished area, and we see Pennywise, whatever form it was, like a claw hand, and then we just see the camera flash because Will took a photo, and then it cuts to Will somehow making it out of there to meet up with the rest of the group. So I didn't notice like a second form change, but like something happened during that flash of the camera, and I'm sure we'll get the answer to that soon. I'm hoping episode 4, because we saw flashbacks of the circus, and I said this before during the first 2 episodes, is that in It too, we saw the human version, or just, Bill Skarsgård putting on actual makeup on a clown. And so I'm hoping soon maybe we get to see him kill the actual circus ringleader and take on his identity. And then that's how, he comes up with the Pennywise identity through that soon.
Yeah, it's interesting that in the Shine Vision that they actually had the place where he was hiding actually labeled as Pennywise at this stage.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was also a callback to the first scene. Well, not the first scene. I mean, first movie where he scares Beverly into the floating lights or whatever in the sewers, because he opens up that big whatever box, and then he does this little dance, and it does this little dance, and it puts her in a trance, and then she starts floating up. So I like how they're doing callbacks to like the iconic scenes in the first movie, but it doesn't feel like a cop out.
Right.
Like they were with the red balloons. Like they do it in a way that's like not annoying, I suppose. Like they just do it in a good new way.
Yeah.
Oh, like
I
the
think
sink
that's a good
scene
take.
with Lily. I almost forgot the sink scene. That was with the voices coming through the sink. I'm like, oh, this is just like.
That was pretty reminiscent. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take that they would that level. Yeah, I think that's a. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, one thing they mentioned too at the end of the episode, like the making of, was that Halloran could also see the future. So it's possible that like that's what he's seeing, or that's where he is. Like it's possible Pennywise isn't in the cistern yet. You know what I mean? Like
I just don't know. Like my problem with that logic is I don't know if he's seen in the future why his grandma would be up there.
well, I think it could be just a combination of things, like a dream.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
maybe.
Like who's to say the logic of a Shine vision? You know what I mean? Like who's to say it's not like an amalgamation of multiple things? Just an idea.
Yeah, I mean he clearly got in Halloran's head. So
The only thing that I'm not when they put in like time travel stuff into things that aren't really meant to be time travel-y, that's where you lose me a bit. So I hope they don't do the thing about how he can see into the future, because I feel like that can get muddled. Because if he can see into the future, then why does he get beaten up by the Losers Club? Unless they do the whole he knows that there's
Well, what do you mean he gets beat up by the Losers Club? Because this is Halloran, right?
Oh, Halloran,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like it's Will's son that's the founder of the Losers Club, right? So
Yeah,
that'd be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
But not if it were the same, sure.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, that's just what they said at the end of the episode. And it was like somebody with the dive in afterwards, and somebody specifically mentioned he could see into the future.
I think maybe it would work if he can see into the future, but there's a limit of how far he can see.
Or like what I'm thinking is like why I think that could be the future is like it's not distinct. You know what I mean? Who's to say what is and what isn't? And that makes more sense to me of like you kind of have to figure it out, and you will figure it out once it happens. Like kind of I never like almost that's so Raven. Like usually that's how like a lot of future storytelling goes. It's like you try to avoid it and you try to make it not happen, and that's exactly how it happens. You know what I mean? Like that kind of whole storytelling. And I could see that, something like that. And like they're trying to avoid this or that, and then all of a sudden they end up making the cistern. That's probably like if I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I mean I might have like a theory of the military dude talking to Rose and being like, tell us which we're doing a dig and tell us which areas to avoid. And maybe the whole like idea of whatever work they're doing is just a front for him to do whatever he wants to do. But it also could be the fact that they're expanding the town and that these burial grounds end up becoming sewer areas, and that becomes more of where Pennywise really is. Even though they already do hint at the pipes in this season. So
do we know, Kevin, because you mentioned the thing about the cracked house.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who owns that house right now?
No.
Which house?
You know the abandoned house that they go to in the first movie, and like Richie calls it the crack house.
Oh no, I don't remember. I need to rewatch them.
Besides the sewers, that's like its house. That's his house. That he likes to reside there, I think, or it's implied. Like that's one of his many little points that he likes to go. And I said earlier, I was wondering if they're going to expand on that too, because also in the intro, they kind of hint at it where he's looking through a window while a family's trying to take a family photo in front of it, but the boy is staring at him, but no one else seems to notice. So I'm just curious on like if that's going to, pop up again in this show maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. It's not a very important detail, but it's just what I've been thinking about because I just
wonder if that intro, like the way they chose that intro, it feels like those scenes are gonna happen. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling.
Well, I think not every scene in the intro is gonna happen. I think the intro serves as things that Pennywise has done in his time at Derry. Like he's the one who set up those mob shootings, and he's the one who set that business.
Yeah, do we know if that mob shooting is connected to what happened with the car yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because I'm trying to figure out when that mob shooting would take place.
I think there's some things that aren't. There's definitely going to be some connections, but I don't think the intro is specifically made to give us exact.
What intro? Do you mean like a trailer?
No, there's an intro in episode 2 and 3 of the show. There's an intro and there's a little theme song.
I totally missed that.
Do you skip it?
No, I when I turned it on, I walked away for a second because I thought it was a recap.
Oh well, there's the recap and then there's the intro.
Yeah.
Or the intro and then the recap.
I was making food when I started up the new episode, and like I was just gonna let the recap play while I waited for the actual episode to start. So yeah.
Fair. So yeah.
I'll check it out though. It's just like
artwork. It's really 1950s kind of painting style ish, if that makes sense. Like
I did start to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I walked away, and I was like, "Oh shit, they are doing like an intro now."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that is cool.
Yeah, but, you gotta watch the full thing next time.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's shots.
Is it the same in 2 and 3, or do they change it? Okay.
No, I'm actually I think they're gonna change it soon, though. I just have a feeling. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, well, if they didn't have it in the first episode, you would think it's gonna change, at some point too.
Or maybe like it's gonna be the same theme song, but maybe some of the images change. Like I see that happening.
Sure.
When do you think they would change that stuff?
I near the finale, probably. That's where I see.
Or maybe even this next episode. I mean, it feels like this episode feels like a turning point of the show. Like you woke Pennywise up. Like things are gonna get more serious from this point on.
Mm-hmm.
Were you gonna say something, Joe? Did I cut you off?
I'm just listening to you right now.
No worries.
I just wonder. Yeah, I just wonder about like what like the idea like with the next episode. I wonder if it is the case that they got so excited about these pictures, and if people don't believe them now that they see this clown, what's that going to do to everyone? They seem really messed up in the sense that, like, they really need people to believe them.
They're
Like,
gonna go through the
Ron-
same thing the Losers Club went through, but before them, essentially.
Because Ronnie's worried about her dad, and they moved her dad to another prison.
They're about to.
Yeah.
About to move him. They haven't yet because she's trying to prove his innocence.
And I thought that was an interesting scene too, where it's like, you know, we thought that this cop was using the little girl as a way to just get this guy because he seems like a piece of shit, but he actually has something on him that we like don't know. You know, like what? I'm an Embassy Gold man. Why did we find this pack of Embassy Golds at this place then? You know, like he's hiding something we don't know what it is yet. And I think it was actually clever. Like at first it just seemed kind of on the nose and dumb by the way they were going about it. Oh, the cop's corrupt. It's like, no, there's something more to this actually. I like that. You know, like you just
obviously we know he didn't kill those kids in the theater, but he was doing something else that night too.
Right. And we have no idea what it was. So it's interesting. What could it be?
You won't tell nobody, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it seems like he was gonna at the end there, like, you know, wait, I'll tell you. But, you know, wait, come back is what he actually said. But I mean, what would be the other reason? Then he's gonna tell him something.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. That's very interesting.
Do you guys have anything else to say, or I just wanna mention Stranger Things and
yeah, we can talk about Stranger Things now. I think I've said what I needed to say about Derry.
Yeah, I feel like we're good.
Cool. So I don't know if you guys knew. I looked it up today. Stranger Things is finally coming out on this November 26th, which is the day before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We're getting a 4-episode drop for part 1.
Yep, because they're doing 3 parts.
We are getting a new South Park episode the same day. So tons of stuff to watch for Thanksgiving.
That'd be fun. Also, speaking of the Stranger Things thing, did you hear about the new update on the David Harbour and Millie Bobby Brown thing?
No.
It was said to be false.
Huh. Good.
Yes.
So Fallout Season 2 comes out December 17th. I can't wait for that.
I can't wait. Have you watched Season 1 yet?
I have. I love Season 1.
Also, Kenna just hasn't seen Season 1 yet.
I haven't finished it. I've gotten pretty far, but I haven't finished it yet.
We'll do a big Fallout week, like the premiere. It's coming out. We'll review Season 1 and talk about the premiere of Season 2. That would be good.
Yeah, I love Season 1. I can't wait to see Kenna finish it. I think it's great.
I'm a big fan. And I love David Walton Goggins.
I'm not even that hardcore of a Fallout game person, but I played the games and I thought the show was just fantastic.
Yeah, I love the show. I'm not even the biggest game fan. I like the aesthetics of the game more than I like the actual game, and the VAT system is really cool. But I'm not crazy about him.
Yeah, I love Walton Goggins' character in that show. I agree.
Yeah, he's great. Then we have Stranger Things Part 2 on Christmas.
Yep.
And that's 3 episodes. And then they're giving us the finale on New Year's Eve, which is also going to come out in theaters.
Yep. And some people get to watch it in theaters. Yep.
And I really think this is probably going to be an absolute banger of a season. And I just don't think that they would pick these dates. Simply that. Literally, like, you're not gonna premiere the rest of the last season of your show literally on holidays only to then get completely torn apart by everybody. They know what they have is good, or else they would not release it on those days.
I mean, they've been taking their sweet time getting this stuff released, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And I just saw a post about how the first episode has a ton of bloodshed. It's like absolutely insane. We'll see how accurate that really is.
They upped the rating, so they went from, I think it's TV-14 to full on TVMA, which for a Stranger Things seems so it seems wild, but I kind of expect it.
Honestly, season 4 is almost there with it. Like, for real. With the classroom and the kids, like, there's parts of season 4 that feel like they are mature, like TVMA, for real.
I mean, I think they did some really good things in season
The whole
4.
shift of the vibe in 4 changes. You know what I
One
mean?
thing what they did that I don't think the show's ever had. If you go from season 1 through 3, there has never been a villain in Stranger Things like how they handled Vecna. Because
Oh yeah, 100%.
like I just feel like the way that Vecna was treated from the beginning of season 4, it changed everything.
What if Trigon shows up? That's what I keep thinking, though. I'm like, what if this season is truly insane?
Outside, what if Thanos showed up? What if they all showed up?
But Trigon's actually Dungeons and Dragons. You know what I mean? Like, what if the 3-headed dragon?
I would actually love that. That would be cool to see.
Right, like, and it's all about D&D monsters. You know, like those are the villains of the show. Like, what if it really goes all the way and blows all our minds and has a Trigon thing at the end of it?
It might have some stuff like that because I talked about this. I did a video. I think it was last week, and this video I did was a theory tied into the fact because if you watch they released last week during the special, like on Stranger Things Day, they released the first 5 minutes and of the first episode, and I won't talk too much what's in those first 5 minutes, but all I'll say is that they've been constantly, and the trailer alluded to this, but they've constantly been tied by the fact that Will is so connected to Vecna and the Upside Down and everything that's going on, and that people forget because Vecna is so terrifying in season 4, and because we're heading into the final season, at the end of season 4, because of how powerful Vecna is and his his connection to 11, we really have truly seen Vecna as the final villain, you would think, because of how powerful he is. But the crazy thing is, that's not the case, because Vecna serves somebody. And he's been serving the same person since his introduction.
Trigon.
No, the Mind Flayer. But
I want Trigon. If they put the Mind Flayer in as a giant spider demon, I want Trigon. You know what I mean? Like, damn it.
That'd be sick. But my video I did talk about that there's another big thing, which is that Will drew a 3-headed dragon that is in the Dungeons and Dragons game. And we've not seen that 3-headed dragon yet.
I want it.
I want some more of it.
Yeah, that's about it, right?
I had one more final. No, we don't have to that topic. I was gonna say we could, but
what is it?
I had a bracket of. So I was telling Kenna, they have shifted from. So as you know, the Doomsday trailer is confirmed to come out December 19th of next month, and so apparently,
oh boy,
I previously heard that they were picking from 3 or 4 trailers for which trailer release. Now apparently they filmed before they made a final decision. As of like a couple days ago, they filmed more than 30 different trailers of footage to look through, and now they picked the one that they want. But I saw a couple podcasts doing this, and I wanted to do a bracket with you guys about percentage-wise which characters that we know that are going to be in Doomsday are going to feature, and maybe characters that we know are in Doomsday but haven't been like publicly announced. You want to see in this trailer to get people hyped, or you're just excited to see.
I'm gonna say Thor.
Thor's a given. I think Thor's an almost 100% guarantee we'll get in the trailer.
Thor, and I would like Cyclops. We'll most likely see like Wolverine too. I would actually really love if it's like a little scene of Cyclops and Wolverine standing together.
I don't think we're going to see Wolverine or Deadpool in this trailer because I think they're the big, how do I put this?
Big characters.
Big surprises for later. I think they don't want us to know that they're in the movie, but they're in the movie. And I think
okay, here's the thing though. we already know that they're going to be in the movie, right? Like, I feel like you can't really do surprises with this movie,
But they
except for
have not
the
been
only
officially
surprise
confirmed. That's the
for
thing.
the movie
I think
will
the surprise is going to be that we get the Michael Fassbender and young Wolverine from Days of Future Past. They're going to show up as well, and it's going to like that would surprise people because there's going to be like
Yes.
multiple Wolverines running around or something. You know what I mean? Like that's the only
I
thing I
mean-
can think of that would surprise people because everybody it does think everything else is already going to happen, and
I
it's
think
like
surprises would be how the story actually goes and how the characters actually act. We know that they're going to appear, but how they're going to act will be, unless they, I don't know, if they have something crazy going on besides, just fighting Doom, of how they're all going to work together. Because this will be a bigger crossover than Endgame was.
Yep.
Like, 4 is coming, the X-Men, like everybody's going to be
Avengers.
there. So it's really just how they all interact, I think, will be the surprise.
I'm interested to see if they touch on what was talked about during Thunderbolts, which is I want to see Sam Wilson versus Yelena, not in a physical fight, but in a you can't be New Avengers. You can't we trademarked it. I'm Captain America. I'm leading the Avengers. You
Avengers
need to change
versus
your name.
Avengers, but not
Yeah.
Civil War.
Yes. Like, I see that happening. I don't know why. I just see those two coming to blows with each other. And honestly, I can't stand Anthony Mackie, so I hope that Yelena and Florence Pugh wipes that smirk off his face.
God, I just don't care about either one of them.
It's fair.
I think they should be friends. Why can't we all just be friends? That's my that's my take. I think it would be better.
And
I
like
think it makes
Drama
sense.
Lady
sells.
Thor.
Drama
What they're-
sells.
Lady Thor should be what she is right now, essentially.
Mhm.
But whatever.
I was just gonna say that, like, obviously I would like to see, and it would make sense at first for them to have some sort of beef with the leadership of the Avengers and whatnot. But I think in the end they'll be like, okay, we're both Avengers. We're gonna work together and we're gonna be a team, and whatever, they fight Doom.
Right. And then the X-Men show up and they gotta fight them, and then
And then there's the Fantastic Four.
Well, you're definitely gonna have the X-Men
And you know
and
what?
the Avengers
David
fight.
Franklin
So,
beats them all up. That's how it's gonna be.
Franklin
he's-
stops it all.
Yeah.
he's too OP.
And then the other Galactus from another universe shows up.
And then Galacta pops up and she says, "Better push the mission vehicle." And then they're all
Pick. Better choose a hero or villain. I'm
Yeah.
not judging.
That'd be crazy if they went full Marvel Rivals.
you could say that they become rivals in the Marvel universe.
That'd be crazy.
I was going to ask this earlier. It's a really out there question because they did talk about adding characters that aren't Marvel into Marvel Rivals, right?
Yeah.
So, well, technically, I don't know if you guys know this. Since Disney took over Star Wars, like Star Wars is a part of Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
in the Outer Rim, if you really want to get into it, like I believe there has been like canon connections been made since Disney took over that like Star Wars exists in the same universe as Marvel.
Are you
It's just
starting
like
to tell me that you think they would actually go and
Darth
go get
Vader
Star Wars?
Vanguard.
Do Star Wars?
I'm saying who knows how long this game sticks around. If it ends up being like a Fortnite and being here for a decade or longer and multiple decade game, yeah, I think eventually you can see that Star Wars crossover happen.
Dude, Star Wars comes in this game. I don't know if I'd ever stop playing this game.
I
I love the Marvel
I believe-
characters, but man,
And they own it. They own it. That's
Right.
the thing. So it's actually feasible. It's not like people being like, oh, DC. No. This is like, out of all the things, it's the two big Disney IPs. They know how profitable Star Wars is. However, I would think they would want something like this of its own when it comes to Star Wars. But like, it's also like you can't have too many of these different live service things going on because
Yeah.
only so many of them can be successful. You're successful in a Star Wars one, it's going to take away from the success of the Marvel one. And ultimately, they could both thrive together if they were together.
yeah.
So like,
True.
yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because it's a
I-
lot of companies failing at trying to make live service games. Look at Concord. It's
Darth
an
Vader and Rivals all
extreme
play.
failure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people would be down for. I mean, it'd be simple. It would work. It would
It's
work.
characters. I wouldn't be surprised to see that we'll get like skins crossovers, where you get a skin like they're dressed up as Star Wars characters, or
If you want to make that argument of Disney owning a big IP, that brings up another idea since they've had crossover skins in the past. They could bring in Tron.
Tron would be cool.
I actually jumped in that thing Retro posted in the self promotion in Legion HQ, and you guys, if you're a fan, leave it in the comments. We'll get you in our Discord, Legion HQ. That he was talking about some like Japanese game unveiling coming on, and he was hoping for Final Fantasy 7-3, which that's definitely not going to happen anytime too soon because we just had the second one come out last year. But he also mentioned Kingdom Hearts 4 might be getting something, or it might get something at the Game Awards. And I'd be so pumped, man. And I've been saying I thought Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to do this, but I could see 4 doing it because, again, Disney, I thought they would have, and they still could, do a Marvel world in Kingdom Hearts 4 and a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts 4. I thought it was a shoo-in for 3 because I thought for sure we were going to get like some Rey or some like sequel trilogy content for Kingdom Hearts 3, but we didn't.
If they do that for those games, I'm definitely going to play that new game like religiously because that would be crazy. Like,
you're worried for Kingdom Hearts 4? Why? I feel like Kingdom Hearts is almost like South Park in a way. It's like untouchable. It doesn't matter how bad it gets. It already knows what it is. It's been like so convoluted. It's not even funny. It's had so many entries, like spin-offs that don't even matter. People don't care about. If they just make another crappy game, like it almost doesn't even affect the franchise. The Kingdom Hearts fans are still here for it, man. You know what I mean?
No, it's not confirmed that Disney's Star Wars and Marvel franchise exist in the same universe. They are a separate universe owned by Disney, which allows the company to create crossover content.
I don't know. I think in the comics, there's been a little mention of this, but
comics and in the movies, they make a reference of like Marvel specifically, with like Captain America being like, "Oh yeah, I watch Empire Strikes Back." So it's more of the sense that the movies exist in the Marvel universe, but it's not like they're both like they exist as a fictional movie.
Or Star Wars exists in the Marvel universe as a fictional IP in the movies. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's what I see as the thing too.
Totally. That's confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
What news did AJ send you, Jake?
Yeah, see, like right here, just looking on Reddit, because I was pretty sure this was a comic thing, and I already found a thread that says Star Wars and MCU. Oh, MCU. No, that's okay, never mind.
Oopsie.
Yeah, when you read something too fast.
Yeah, like what did he send you, Jake? 1 second. I'm trying to fix this thing.
Yeah, no, there's like discussions that suggest it and theories and stuff like that, but it's never been actually established, which I didn't think it had been. You know what I mean? But like there's all kinds of stuff they do like that. God, what am I trying to like I feel like there's things with specifically Han Solo they use quite a bit to cross over with other stuff. Like Han and Chewie adventures. From back in the day. They don't really do that kind of stuff as much anymore, but when the expanded universe was big, I feel like they were more down to do stuff like that. But I don't know. I really don't know.
Who knows anymore?
I don't. Not me. Okay, Joe. You think we got it? You think we got a wrap here?
Yeah. I don't know where he is, but I'm gonna say yes. Oh, there is a new Smiling Friends episode actually this time out, so I'll be watching that after this.
Cool. You should check out Share Company. People are starting to like it quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll check it. I'll watch I think I'll watch the latest Smiley Friends episode, and I'll watch Share Company afterwards. At least the first
Yeah.
episode.
My buddy watched it, and like even his girlfriend really liked it, and she was like, "What are you watching?" Like, and started laughing quite a bit. So I feel like Tim Robinson definitely has some out there humor, and his
Mhm.
main show, I Think You Should Leave, is very over the top and very out there.
Mhm.
But I think this show tones all that down and kind of brings the humor to like a level that everybody can enjoy.
Oh, you were talking
I-
about the Fortnite thing, AJ, with Kingdom Hearts?
Now that's a crossover.
oh God. What do you, Joe? You should check out Chair Company too on
Is
HBO
that a
Max.
show?
Yeah, it's a comedy.
I'll look into it.
It's good.
All right. Well, I think we've hit all our topics for today. We'll definitely do a big Predator thing.
Yep. Don't forget, big Predator episode next week. So if you guys like the show, you guys should catch up on some Predator too, because it's gonna be like probably
we're
like
about to
half
get
of the
hyped
episode,
watching some.
like for
We're
real,
about to get
probably.
hyped on some Predator stuff.
Whoop whoop.
Yo, I might even play a couple Predator games. Why not?
Whoa.
That'd be fun.
There is a Predator game we can all play together.
Oh God.
That newer
What
one. I forget. It's a asymmetrical game where you hunt the predator and then one player plays as the predator.
Oh.
Ooh, sounds
Yeah.
intriguing.
That could actually be fun with like a private group of people, you know? Because when you play online with other people, that's when like you have these over leveled randos that just destroy everybody.
Yeah, you can't
Sometimes that can be fun though. Like
Yeah.
when me and my friends back in the day got into Friday the 13th, when we first started playing it, we really just played it as us. Because like when we played it online with other people, we just didn't understand it the same way. And we learned it. And like as we got better at it, we started to play it online more with people.
Right.
You know, like that could be the case. You never know. So always trying to, like I said earlier, always trying to look for multiplayer games we could all play. So
Yeah.
and I know you kind of, you're like not really like in the fictional IPs we talk about all the time, but I'm probably those sometimes are the easiest ones to find.
Exactly.
Unfortunately,
Again, I'm not entirely against them, but it would be nice, more variety.
I get it. There's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game too. That's
Mhm.
basically right now. That's the spiritual successor of Friday the 13th. They're working on a Halloween game.
Halloween.
I know. Yeah, that one's
Example of
supposed to actually be
crossover
good.
Disney Plus.
Texas Chainsaw's okay, you know. It's not bad though. Like if you like those type of games, but really it's basically a worse version of
But
Dead by Daylight. Yeah. And that's another
Interesting,
one we could
Eugene.
all play together. Dead by Daylight. That one's free, you know? So
is it?
Oh, that one's free?
wait, is it?
I don't know. You said it was.
Maybe it's not. I'm pretty sure it is, and then the characters are what actually
Oh, is
cost
it
money.
like, in-game money. Yeah, but
Yeah, kind of like a live service game. Let me look real quick before we end.
Yeah, that's interesting, AJ. That makes sense about your what if thing.
Oh, speaking of what if, I don't know if you've seen this, but after how bad it was, there was 2 concept art that were posted of Peggy Carter, and it was Peggy Carter as the Black Knight, I think, and Peggy Carter as Elektra. That was gonna
Yeah,
be
people were livid about that shit. I saw some really mean comments. But honestly, when it comes to Peggy Carter, it's deserved.
Yeah.
So Dead by Daylight is not free. It's like $20 on Steam and $30 on PlayStation. But Google's cool enough to be like, hey, you can find it for deals, like a digital code for your PS5 on certain websites like gg.deals for like $12.53. So that's something to think about. We always think about just buying shit straight from the store, but usually there are websites we can look up and get like way cheaper keys for, you know?
Yeah, that's
But
not
you just
bad.
want to make sure you're getting it from at least a good site.
Right.
So, yeah.
I agree.
That way you're not wasting the $12.
Yeah.
It's almost worth the shot, you know what I mean? If you want to get cheaper games. Hey. All right, guys. That's creators legioning.
Yeah, Creators Legioning. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Thanks for watching the show.
See you next week.
Bye with some Predator.